Hello.
Happy Cheeks Day!
No.
Cheeks Day!
Cheeks Day. Fuck's sake.
Is
Hello.
what today is. It's Tuesday, and you're
Cheeks
joining us
Day.
here for part 2 of our Mappa Mundi mini adventure.
Mappa Mundi mini. Mondays. It would be so good if we were still on a
Mystery.
Monday.
I know,
we're not on
but
Mondays,
We're not on
so-
Mondays.
There's a mystery.
Mappa Mundi mini mystery monsters.
Oh, monsters, yes. It could
Yeah.
be a meteorological mystery because we think it was the water what done it. That's what I think. Anyway.
That's what Shantae thinks. Yeah, sure.
Yes,
The water
absolutely.
did it.
It was the water.
Moody,
The water is evil.
Murky, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Anyway,
We're the
hello.
RPGeeks. Hi.
Hello!
We are Emily, Shamini, and Fiona. We're awesome nerds who are playing some TTRPGs and telling you some fun facts, but not yet.
Not yet.
No fun facts yet.
Whoa.
You've got
Calm
to wait
down.
for your fun facts.
Hang on,
Stop.
you're gonna play. Okay.
You have to watch the story first. Then you can have the learning.
Then you can have your facts. Yes, exactly.
We have fun first, then we do the learning. You have to sit through the fun, everyone. Come on
I
now.
hate fun. I just want to learn.
Okay, just a little bit more fun. Come on then, a little bit more. The fun today takes the form of Shantae and Boomer exploring a potentially meteorological mystery of monsters as members of
maps. Sorry.
with maps
And
yes!
men.
Well, yeah, I mean,
And
not as many men as one might expect for a TTRPG.
We don't need them.
No,
It's
in
fine.
general. I think
our
Minus men.
new
There you
brand.
go.
minus
men
the men.
who need
Yes.
them. Yeah. Minus the men. There you go.
Minus the men. Yep.
Mappa Mundi, monsters, maps, minus the men.
Men. Yeah.
Meteorological mysteries.
Meteorological mysteries. Yeah. Perfect. It's a catchy tagline.
Yes. We'll have to make up the font very narrow.
We can just call it.
Mappa Mundi.
So, I think we're going to dive in to part 2 of the adventure. We'll be taking a break about halfway through, before which there will be a fun little lore drop with some facts for you all.
Sure.
Exciting.
But I'll hand over now to our fate weaver of the evening. It is Emily Bates.
Hello. Let's get straight into it.
Oh, shit, I don't remember my character.
Do you have your character sheets? Do you know
Yep.
what your characters can do? That's the question. Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
Dice.
Let's do a little mini recap on what happened
just a little one.
last
Just a
week.
little
Just a little
one.
Tiny, tiny.
So last time you arrived in Njevod in Leknitsa, and you met Morgana, who was the sort of interim head of the Mappa Mundi Institute, and she sent you to a private school to speak to the children about the supposed monsters they'd seen who were causing vandalism all around the town. There's been a lot of reports of this vandalism at the school, at the mill, at the watermill, at the at the boat place with the oars,
The jetty.
the jetty,
boat place.
yeah, the boat place. Chanteurs went for a dip in the river,
Partly intentionally.
partly intentionally, and you seemingly sort of managed to communicate with the river
It
and
spoke
find out
to me.
angry,
to
lonely
me.
water.
Intrusion.
Intrusion. You carried on upriver, and you discovered more and more instances of this vandalism, and you spoke to some people, including the broken water wheel over at the mill, seemingly due to the owner not offering a gift to the frog people, which is similar to what the children described. So
Did she
Boomer-
forget the honey that night?
No, she didn't.
No,
She didn't forget it.
No,
But she's.
blames
Oh no, that's
herself.
true. Yeah, that's true. Actually, no, she was supposedly always
Not her
putting the
fault.
honey up.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? Not me.
I wouldn't have raped
to the
her. I
honey.
can get honey.
She knows. Bates knows.
Yeah.
I know. I do know. I do know the answers, weirdly, to this story that I made up in my brain. Based on this wonderful TTRPG from 3 Cell Studios. Hi in the chat, 3 Cell Studios. Hope you're doing well. Boomer sort of... Well, Boomer and Shantae had a bit of a stakeout, but Shantae had a little nap in a tree, while Boomer sort of actually encountered the creature with a face of a frog and this little beaver friend who came and sort of collected the honey. Boomer attempted to communicate.
As one does.
It didn't go amazingly well, but it didn't go awfully.
It could have gone a lot worse, and frankly, it's up there in the top 5 of people or monsters meeting Boomer, or Boomer meeting monsters.
Well,
I
there you
think.
go,
So,
and that's
absolutely,
good.
yeah.
Fiona, you're a little quiet. If you can up your volume, that'd be fab.
will do.
Thanks. Also, before all of that, you also met a little girl called Danica, who said she'd seen a very big bear and who was also very small and flew away. And that was sort of another thing that sort of maybe piqued your interest and is a fascinating thing for Mappa Mundi chroniclers. And we now find you having spoken to... I've forgotten the name of the man at the jetty, and I don't have my...
Oh, Darius.
Darius. Was it Darius? We'll go with Darius.
Yes,
Darius.
I do.
Yes, I believe you. You spoke to Darius at the jetty, who sort of lent you a boat to go on and continue your adventure. So we now find you sailing upriver, and can you just paint a little picture for me about what you think, how you think Boomer and Shanta's... Boomer, you actually you shaped this ship last time. It had beautiful sort of floral decorations, almost canal boat-esque decorations on this sort of sailing ship. And I didn't check. Do you remember what you called it?
Of course I do. It's called the Knot. Wood Knot. So yeah, Wood Knot, but Knot.
So we sort of know what the outside of the ship looks like, or the boat looks like. Chantez, what do you think the sort of... It's not a very big ship. Like, there is space for the two of you. You can both man this ship pretty easily together. Would you like to add anything to the sort of interior of this ship?
Oh, you're muted, my friend. Chanteuse. Hello?
Yeah, my voice. Did we get the ship from Darius?
You did, yeah.
Yes.
Do you think maybe Darius would have would be maybe keeping it so that he can rent it out to like hen parties?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Like, I feel like there's like a
Actual
sort of...
hens.
But then the flaming-tailed chickens, just loads of them all getting on the boat at once.
I'm wondering maybe it's very party oriented. Like, maybe there's like a lot of space for alcohol. Like the drawers are all like you know, open a random drawer and there's like hats and like not streamers. What are they called? We go
party.
unrolls.
What are they called? Tutors. No.
Tutors. Hooters.
No, and then they unwrap, right? The one what are they called?
Yeah. Party.
Come on, between the three of us, we must know. No.
Party.
Chat, please. This is why you're here.
Party whistles.
Party. No. Party.
Drop the law on us.
Chat, give
What
us
are
the
they
law.
called?
Dude, you know the ones we mean. They unravel.
Yes, I know which one.
Everyone knows that.
We
We know
know.
party bags.
Yeah, come on, party back.
Party streamers?
I know
Streamers
Hang
like
on.
go
Surely
up
a
on the ceiling.
Streamers.
Party
Party
blowers,
blowers?
someone
That's
says.
not what they're
Hang on,
called.
It's
party.
rude. No offence.
Hang on.
You're a party blower. This is
mean,
the energy we're bringing today, everyone. I
We've
hope
got,
you're all
we've
prepared.
got, I mean, Google suggests party horns, noisemakers,
Okay.
party pipes, or blow ticklers. Now, I don't
No,
Google
no,
what
it
would help.
doesn't. You just
Blow
made-
ticklers.
No, that's
Who put
Blow
that?
ticklers.
No, is that the AI? Because
might have been the AI at the top.
Ticklers.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
only ever
Speakers.
calling them blow ticklers from now on.
I like horn. I would go with horn.
Party horns.
horns.
I like party tutors as well.
Party tooters.
Oh,
Party
so it just sounds rude for some reason.
Party ticklers.
No. No. Okay.
Okay,
Anyway, there's some of
okay.
those.
So there's some in this
There's
universe
like-
they are called blow ticklers.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. There might be a couple of blow ticklers.
Amazing.
No, Puma, leave them. We don't need no. Do it once, no. And yeah, party stuff, candles, sash, saying bride to be. What else do hen and stag parties need?
I mean, there's a drawer, but maybe we can't unlock because it's got certain paraphernalia that will not be appropriate for a kid-friendly stream. So we're just like, nah, we don't go into that one.
Stream. In what world is this a kid-friendly stream?
Oh, you know,
but
it's
you
like-
still can't get in that drawer.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Darius said give us a key. Wow.
So you start making your way up river, and I will tell you that because of the way you are heading, and the information you have gathered, this card is inverted. So the way
Oh,
Mappa Mundi
what?
works is If you gain the correct information and do the right kind of things on your adventure,
Do the right
the right kind of things,
No.
in the right things that I came up with in my head.
Sure.
We're being so silly today, ladies. Right. I'm including myself in this. I'm telling all of us that
Never
the
called us
energy.
ladies before.
I know.
That
I
was
didn't know
new.
what word to say.
We're silly ladies.
Ladies.
Silly ladies.
Right. Okay. Centered.
Sorry.
Centered. We've got to finish this today.
Yes.
So the way Mappa Mundi works is during the journey phase, which is what you are now on. You have cards through the different areas that you're going, and if you've done some good research, you've found out things about maybe the creature or the area that you're traveling into, they will be right-wise up. And that will mean that you can. It's sort of a fairly easy check, fairly easy challenges. However, due to some things that have happened and where you're going and what you're doing, this river card is actually inverted, so it is upside down. And you can both feel free to shape this a bit, but I want you to shape it in the sense that this is a challenge for you. You're carrying on, and the river starts off very calm, but you start to see that more and more rocks. So you're actually moving southwards in terms of the map. And you can see in the very far distance, you can see the mountains, the Hava Mountains. And you actually feel like there's more boulders, there's more rocks in the stream, and the water is starting to funnel, and it's not quite rapids yet, but it's getting more and more difficult to navigate, and you are having to like really use the sail to kind of keep you going in the upriver. It's a sailing boat, not a rowing boat, because the oars will.
I thought it was like a canal boat, but I guess they.
No, I painted it as a
Yes.
canal boat, but it's actually got sails. So
Good.
It's a sailboat that looks like a canal boat.
Okay.
yes.
So I wouldn't want to be navigating a canal boat on any sort of rapids at all, nor a sailboat really. Puma, you've got this right. Thank you.
Yes. Boomer has obviously raided said hen party. There's a feather boa now. It's
Yes,
wrapped
perfect,
around,
good.
like standing at the front of the ship, and he goes, "Wait, the steering wheel," and then I'll go back to the back of the ship. And I'm like, just keep out. Say port or starboard. If there's a rock coming up, and I'll, there's a little
Port or starboard! Port or starboard!
Oh, port
It's over there! Port or
starboard! Port
Port
or
or-
starboard!
Port or stop! Port or stop! It's over there!
Okay. Boomer, can you give me a traversal check? I am going to tell you now
Yeah.
that you need a 4.
I helped.
You did
A
not.
traversal trip. Okay. Okay. This is a D4. I think this is fine. I think if if anything, me doing the big 180 donut in the water will absolutely go well.
I'm sure.
I got a 4, so yeah.
Okay. Boomer, you managed to sense and you grab hold. Do you think the ship has a wheel or a rudder that you're sort of moving from the back?
I mean, I think I realised the wheel is just there for show because it's a party boat. And they go, well, the real mechanics are here. And using my
Amazing.
fixed things, I sort of like hold on to it and then use my own bulk to help move and shift the weight so that maybe we skim past the boulders so it sort of we don't hit them. so to speak.
Perfect. And actually, as you look, Chanteuse, you didn't really help because you were shouting port or starboard.
That's what she told me to shout.
It is exactly what she said. However, what you do is, as you're shouting it, you are pointing in the direction of which rocket. So you're going port or starboard, and you're pointing either way. And it does allow Boomer to manage to navigate this one section. But as you keep going, this is not getting better. Like, this is getting worse and worse. And you think at some point you're potentially going to have to go along on foot if you want to keep going this direction, which you can.
You know, it does occur to me, Boomer, that
Yes.
the water that's angry, potentially angry with us, was maybe
Feel it.
not the best method of transportation. On the angry water.
We're getting closer. We've moved a little bit ahead, and maybe if we're able to get past these, maybe we could tie up the wood knot somewhere, and then we could use the boulders to get ahead. What do you say, old chap?
You want to hop from boulder to boulder in the river?
No, I don't wish to. I feel it goes back to that start all port or starboard thing. I give suggestions. I don't say I actually agree with my suggestions. It's called constructive ways forward, you know?
Okay, maybe we'll walk.
Okay.
And we walk along the side, and if we see any more of those cows or
the
any
aurochs,
more,
yes,
those. Thank you.
Yeah.
I, being a chronicler, know what animals are called. Or if we find any beasts, we could ride the beasts.
Oh, great! I will get ready to jump to shore.
You, Fiona, looked a lot like you didn't want to yes and that. You were like,
What are you talking about? I
Brilliant.
yes and everything you say.
terrible plan, but
You
I
tie
don't have a
up
plan.
the boat. There are
tie
some
up the boat.
trees on the side. Not a lot, but there's sporadically a few sort of patches of trees. You find one that's almost like a weeping willow sort of hanging over this section. And you pull the boat over and you're able to fairly securely tighten it. And you feel pretty good that the wood knot is going to stay in place. As you've been going along, you sort of started off very much skirting the outside of the city, but you have since turned away. The river has meandered away, and you are now sort of in the middle of the plains of Leknitsa. And there's actually on one side of the river there is a sunflower field, and these beautiful, really tall sunflowers, sort of 8 foot tall, giant, the middle of a flower.
Oh, there's sunflower seeds in it, right?
Yeah, the bit with the seeds. What would that be called? Chat.
a
Another law drop
biology
from
test.
you, please. Thank you.
Quick,
that we are
The
failing.
centre of stick. No. Oh my
Middle bit.
goodness.
Fiona, did you know? Fiona, what's
no.
Fiona?
Oh, interesting. So, again, according to Google, the centre of sunflower is made up of 1,000 tiny little flowers called disc florets.
Okay,
And
so the
they
disc
exist in a spiral
florets
florets. Yeah, you go.
look They're huge. They're like bigger than your heads. The petals are bigger. Like these are sort of extra large compared to sunflowers that we would see here on Earth, and that's sort of taking up all of one side of the riverbank where you are. On the other side, there's sort of some trees with this willow
Fiona's
and things.
outfit. It's coming to life.
I'm here! I'm actually already in the sunflowers. I'm like, look!
On the other side, there's going to be an IKEA.
There is not an IKEA. There is no IKEA.
There is! We wrote the supplement for it! It's here!
No.
That doesn't sound very yes and Emily Bates.
It's not. It's absolutely no, and it's not even no, but it's just no.
No. Oh.
There is an island off the coast of a different part called IKEA, but you're nowhere near that.
Thank you, Emily Bates.
We'll
so
go
welcome.
sometime. But so sorry, we interrupted you. Wonderful thing.
Sorry.
So there's sunflowers on one
Sunflowers on one
side.
side.
And on the other side, there is a weeping willow, so that sort of takes up a lot of the. It sort of hangs over the river, sort of reaching out about halfway, and that is the tree that you've tied the boat to. And then it stretches out into plains, and you can't see anything other than the mountains in the very far distance.
Well, Chanteuse, I wonder, we've got those beautiful sunflowers, obviously matchy. I wonder if the creature, the big froggy gentleman, they liked gifts.
Gentle
I
person.
wonder
Yes.
if we asked the flowers kindly if we could take some of them. We could present them as gifts if we see them again. Maybe more of a chance encounter. What do you think, Poppet?
Yes, flowers. Flowers with honey-like nectar could be better as
Would
a
be
gift.
better. Yes.
We'll take the sunflowers, but let's keep an eye out. Maybe all sorts of flowers. Yes, gifts. Very good idea.
Oh, you inspired me, Poppet.
I'm going to collect all the flowers that I see from now on.
Currently, the flowers are on the other side of the river. However, you do see there are still a lot of these sort of rocks and boulders, and
don't wanna
the
collect
river
those.
is slightly less choppy than it was. And you're like, we could maybe make it across.
Oh no! Well, we do
Chanteuse.
need a gift. We need a gift.
It's all right. Well, Chanteuse, I tell you what. Why don't we race each other and make it a bit of a sport? Loser is in the water.
Look, I am
Your favourite
very
place.
serene and calm, and I don't usually go in for. And then she starts amazing.
Oh, you got me again.
Okay, I want you both to make me traversal checks, unless there's any skills or anything you would like to add to this. And I'm going to say
Not really.
you need to not fall in the river,
Yeah.
You need
Okay.
a 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 if you've got a d6 in it. But just not a 2 or a 1 to not fall in the river. And then whoever gets the higher will win the race.
This is a very important race. This is the most important role of all of Mappa Mundi.
Okay. That was a 3.
Okay.
That was a 2.
Okay. Chanteurs.
Yeah.
Fairly gracefully for someone with so much sort of fabric flowing from them. Sort of almost just sort of dances across and lands and sort of does almost a gymnastics like ha as you on the other side, and you turn around to sort of bow at Boomer and be like, I beat you, and you watch Boomer slip off a rock and just sort of and Boomer, you were right at the bank, like you were about to get in. So Chanteurs, you have a moment to react if you would like to do something.
Proper total wipeout.
Okay, yeah, this looks really dangerous. And I would like to try and grab Boomer. This isn't fun anymore.
Make me. Have you got a skill you want to use for that, or is this just your giving it a
No,
go?
I have no skills in nothing.
Look, it's got a beach reversal again. I'm sorry.
D6, come on. I know I've got a D6 in it. I can do
pop
this.
it.
I can do this. I can do this. I got a 6. The dice knew.
Beautiful.
Dice knew. My friend Boomer.
Without any fail,
Indeed.
you grab Boomer's arm and you pull her up onto the bank, and you both find yourselves sort of surrounded by these sunflowers.
Whoa, good catch, Poppet. Really good.
You nearly died. You would have been swept away by the angry water.
Oh no, it would have just been a minor blip, and you would have just gone ahead without me. I don't want to find out.
I don't want to go on ahead without you, Boomer.
Oh, it's fine. Look at these beautiful flowers. Look,
yes.
pull one down gently, like see. Pointed to my jacket, put to his back.
Ask its permission. Ask its permission, and
Okay.
turn Widdershins 3 times before you pluck it.
Widdershins, of course. So I've naturally turned Widdershins 3 times, which is left counterclockwise. But I will speak into the flower like a mouse. Hello, good morrow. We wish to use you as a gift for the creatures.
Can you make me an observation check, please, Boomer?
That's a 5.
You, that's perfect. You just hear you hear like the flutter of wings, but a lot of wings.
Oh.
And it almost sounds like it's coming from the sunflower. But as you glance up, you just see a shape, and you can barely make it out. You just see the top of a shape moving through the sunflower field, sort of maybe 3 meters away from you. It's this sort of...
Yeah.
With the glance you get, it looks like maybe a very tall white head with sort of small little pointy ears.
Oh. And
but it sort of moves away and then sort of dips down, and it looked almost fuzzy to you.
Oh. Sorry, just to check, you said it was flying, right? Or it seems to
Not
be
flying, just moving. It
Right,
looked like it was
so
probably walking through the sunflowers.
amazing. It's massive. Okay. Sorry, I did to check how big it is. Okay. Chanteurs,
What did it say? What did it?
I'll be honest, the line was a little bit bad, but I think I'll point to where this creature was. It looked like a big furry thing, quite big, dipped in and out.
A ride. It could give us a ride.
Hello. I don't know if you could hear me, but I don't suppose you're taking requests for. We need to go north. I point up.
South.
South.
You don't hear anything back from the sunflower this time.
Oh. I think the
But
line,
you can still,
credits run out.
Chanteurs, you start to hear it now. You hear this sort of very gentle, like, fluttering. But it's like a big, gentle fluttering.
I feel like I think I'm taller than Boomer. Boomer's quite short, right?
I imagine her to be more rotund. So yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm gonna jump up and down. Is the sound coming from the creature moving through these flowers?
As you jump up, make me an observation check.
Oh, okay. 3.
Okay. With a 3, as you jump up, you think you see within the sunflowers maybe one of the aurochs, maybe one of the cows.
They'll give us a ride.
Again, it looked fuzzy.
Oh. Cows are fuzzy.
And you sort of, as you jump again, you can't see it.
By fuzzy, do you mean furry or do you mean low resolution?
Low resolution.
Ah, I just thought you meant they were furry.
Ah, they're sort of
Like
low, yeah,
I mean, like blurry almost.
pixelated.
I will say, we
have.
have now entered into an encounter phase.
Oh,
Come, we must, okay, what we'll do is,
yeah.
we need to rush because it might leave, but in order to ward off any bad feelings it may have towards us, we shall sing as we go along, okay?
Yes, absolutely. Lead the way.
All right. We're going to run through the flowers.
Yep.
I shall sing, running through the flowers we go.
Through the way we go.
Off to say hello.
Off to say hello.
I'm assuming you're using the sing interaction as part of this, Chanteuse.
I'd forgotten that that's a thing, but sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say that you are. As you run, you suddenly hear behind you a sort of a very low murmur, just like hundreds and thousands of wings, or like that grumble when your voice is a bit husky. It's just that in the background. It's like someone breathing low. And you turn, and the sunflowers behind you sort of part a bit, and you see, in the shape of an auroch, made up of hundreds of small insects. You see tiny butterflies. You see flies. You see birds, even sort of around the horns, sort of circling it with sticks attached. You see now the picture I'm going to show you is of it in its bare form. However, you see it in its auroch form. And you see this creature just mimicking another creature, but made up of hundreds, if not thousands, of others. And it just sort of stands in front of you. And as you sing to it, you have unlocked a behaviour which has many voices. As you hear the chirping of birds, you hear the buzzing of wings, and you just hear this cacophony of all these small creatures singing back to you. And also, everyone, now please take a second to talk about how beautiful this artwork is.
So good.
I have been
Oh,
so excited for you to see this creature. I think it is stunning.
That is absolutely stunning.
I think it's worth getting the whole book just for this.
That is gorgeous. Wow.
Yeah.
I will continue my song, and I will just say, "Oh, we wanted a ride from you, but you're not one thing. You're quite a few."
You just hear a...
They don't look very load-bearing, Boomer.
I know. Oh, marvellous. I get out my sketchbook. And I just go, oh, wait, do you think this was the big like a house but small like a thing bear that the little girl was talking about at the cream of ice shop?
As you say that and you begin to sketch it, you have unlocked another behaviour. And as you sketch, you start drawing this sort of auroch. Do you think you're doing it almost like pointillism, sort of doing the dots? How do you think you're drawing it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
because I think Boomer isn't. If she did draw like actual lines, it'd be too stick figurey. So yes, I think she's just trying to fill in the void essentially. So yeah.
Beautiful. And as you do it, as you start doing, you look away for a second as you do some dots, and you look back, and it has shifted its form into that of a bear, and just sort of sits on its hind legs and looks down at you. And now it is this giant bear, which is giant but made up of lots of very small things.
Oh, incredible. Well,
And it is just sort of staring at the both of you in as much of a way as it can stare, with sort of eyes that are made from sort of little daisies that you see sort of little butterflies holding onto and sort of keeping around the eye area.
Oh, that's cute.
It's very adorable. Adorable. I write that down. I'm going to attempt something, Chanteuse, but if you need to jump in, please feel free to. Good morrow, Grand Master of the Sunflower Field. We wish you no harm. Have you seen a big frog person that's got an injury to its leg? or a tiny beaver that's been causing a ruckus downriver. And I try to do charades.
Okay. Do you have a skill you want to use for this?
Well, if we're doing charades, sure, I will use the skill Steady Hands to definitely show exactly what I'm meaning.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to make me. Let's call this an exploration roll.
Okay. I'll give that a go. It's a D4 for me. I'll give it a go. Why not? I just don't want. I'm trying to be as like non-threatening as possible. I appreciate Boomer is not threatening. She's just big. So it's just loud noises. You know.
Actually, it can be. No, sorry. I think it is going to be exploration.
I think
yeah, exploration. Yeah.
One.
As you
really bad at charades.
As you do this, you start sort of gesturing rather wildly, and sort of without meaning to, you kind of at one point fling your arm, or maybe you fling a sunflower that sort of passes through the face.
Oh no!
And for a sort of second, it sort of disperses and comes back together, and then sort of stands up and sort of moves back a bit. And in terms of mechanics for Mappa Mundi, seeing as this is the first time we've had something like this, creatures have threads when you meet them. You've met this creature in its passive form, so it has 4 intact threads. And as things either go wrong, you can fray or sever those threads. And I will say with that sort of interaction, you've now severed 1 thread. If it goes down to 4 severed threads, it could turn on you, or it will just leave.
Yeah. Oh gosh! Oh, I have made a big faux pas. That's so sorry. I've just big hands, you know. Oh, pop it. I think I've upset it. I didn't mean to. I just
Right. It's not really talking to you. It's not sort of communicating. It is just sort of staring. It almost finds you two fascinating. You get the sense.
Oh, game recognizes game. Oh.
Let us try being one with the flowers. It is one with the flowers. We too shall be one with the flowers. And I want to use touch, but I want to touch the flowers and not it.
Okay. Explain to me what you do.
Yeah.
I shall come, Boomer, stand among some flowers and reach up to the petals. Place my hands on one, feeling the flow, communing with the plants, hoping they're not angry. Feeling another one and another one. We are all one with the plants, with the flowers under the sun. Feel the sun, Boomer.
Ooh, so
Is it a sunny day, Fate Weaver?
It's a beautifully sunny day right now.
It's a sunny day.
Could have cream of ice. Oh.
Feel the sun being absorbed into you, converted into sugars to give you energy.
As this is a
plant.
touch
You're
roll.
a plant, Boomer.
Oh, plant, yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Can you give me a
Vitamin
traversal?
D.
A traversal check, please.
Vitamin D.
5. 5 is very
Hey.
good. Okay, with a 5, as you do it, it watches the two of you, and its form shifts again into that of what looks like a woman with sort of wild hair, and at the hands there are sort of 2 birds sort of maneuvering as the hands, and they sort of lift up along with the sort of the arms made of all these insects, and they join you in sort of just touching the flowers.
Yes.
You don't uncover a new behaviour there, but it also starts to sort of, one of the birds sort of starts to fly towards you and sort of hovers around your face, Shantez. as if the hand were sort of like, it's not touching you, but sort of holding its hand in front of your face, trying to work out what you are.
We are one, although we are actually not plants. We are chroniclers from a far distant institute come to, well, right now, solve a sort of water-based mystery, but in general, Learn of the creatures of this world.
Yes.
I am going to give you one of the behaviours that I don't believe either of you possess the interaction to unlock, but I think because you've had some successful rolls and things have gone well. And the behaviour is simply, this is a biological marvel. As you look at it, this is, all the creatures are moving as one, even though individually they all have their own paths that they're following. But if any were to, if the dove, for example, at the hand were to fly up the arm, other animals would go and take the place. There is no, despite you hear all the buzzing and the noise of this creature, it doesn't seem like they're communicating to each other. It seems they almost are one, even though they look like many. Or maybe they are many, but they just move as one innately. You're not sure.
Is it like a murmuration of starlings?
It is almost like a murmuration of starlings, but it is made up of birds and
Different
insects
species.
and all different. And they're carrying things that assist with what is going on. The hair is partly made of twigs and of bits of grass that different creatures are carrying and moving around. So it looks incredibly natural.
Yeah. Very cool.
Can I say that before we hopped... Oh, it was very quick. Can I say that before we hopped over the stream, I found a little flower?
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't be plucking the wildflowers. But I did say I was gonna pick any flowers I saw.
Sure.
Perhaps a little dandelion.
Beautiful.
Perhaps a little dandelion grown by
a
the willow tree.
one or the flower?
One. One. That's the technical term, I think.
Did you used to do the tell the time by blowing the dandelion?
You've always got to tell the time.
Yeah.
But what you've got to do is, like, when you get to the last few and there's like stubborn ones sticking on, you've just got to be like 1, 2, 3, 3.5. 340.
I always used to try and get it exactly,
It's
and
exactly
I realised
right.
it is one of those things, isn't it, where it's like, oh, it tells the time, but actually it's more you trying to tell the time by getting it right with the number of blows. Anyway, I love that game.
Cool.
I will take the dandelion clock. I don't know how I thought I was gonna carry that around with me until we found the frog. But
It was tucked behind your ear for a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
instead of keeping it for the frog, I would like to blow all of the little seeds to join in with this cloud.
Oh,
Shaped
lovely.
creature.
Beautiful. As you do it, I'll say, Boomer, is there anything else you would like to do with this creature?
I think this is a normal routine for Boomer and Chanteuse. Boomer makes that big introduction, does the failing, which is fine, but then Chanteuse comes and does this very gentle stuff, and I wonder if that builds into like that anxiety that Chanteuse had, like, oh, I don't like speaking to children, I don't like doing this. So Boomer's happy to make the mistakes. So if anything, she's just watching back, going, oh, she's bloody Marvel, isn't she? Go for it, puppet. You know, so it's just letting Chanteuse shine in this moment, because this is what she does best.
Beautiful. Chanteuse, as you blow and these the seeds detach and they start to amalgamate with this creature, you see a very small little sort of bright blue, you'd call it a fly, but it's just a sort of very very bright blue little bug, sort of sweeps down and collects two, one on each side, and then sort of flies in into the creature and sort of does some sort of nose hairs on this lady, and just starts, and the creature, and as you continue to blow and the rest sort of go in, it sort of hits in her chest area some of these seeds, and as it does, the creature again, the creature as a whole turns to look at you and sort of nods their head, and then you watch as it just disperses, and suddenly it almost looks like a cloud, a fog, that just suddenly rises above the sunflowers and then just sort of drifts away like a murmuration further, and it starts going further upriver. But that is the final behaviour, and actually you would have unlocked it with touch, but because you did the touch so beautifully with the sunflowers, I gave you something else, and that is rapid dispersal is the final behaviour that you have learned about this creature.
good show, Chantiz. Oh, well done, my lass. Oh, very good, very good.
Yes, write it all down, Boomer.
Yep.
We must share the information when we return.
What a beautiful creature. Never seen anything like it.
No, it was many and it was few and it was big and it was also small.
Yes, the little girl was right.
Potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Although, where did she see it? In the town?
She said she saw it on the mountainside. I think she.
The outskirts, I think.
The outskirts.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she told you
Right.
exactly where,
Okay.
but
No.
it wasn't within the city. It was.
It was
Yeah, okay.
it wasn't. We didn't think it was connected to the vandalism. I don't think we were asking about weird sightings. I think. That's interesting. It was so close to where we were, but it seems not dangerous, at least, or at least not. It's not going to be a danger to itself or to the city. So.
Well, that's because you turned Widdershins three times. That's what did it. Well done, Boomer.
If in doubt, turn Widdershins 3 times or thrice.
Absolutely. Thrice, of course. That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
No,
to say.
you've always said that. I forgot it
I
myself.
did say that. You're right.
Yes,
I just forgot.
I know. You're right. Yeah. It seems to have gone up river. I think. I mean, that's the way we were heading. Maybe we don't take these sunflowers. I don't know.
We didn't get permission. It might be their sunflowers. Let us forge a path through the flowers.
Yes, carefully. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Alrighty.
As you begin moving up through the sunflowers, you stay quite close to the river, or do you stay further away?
We want to be able to see it so that we know where we're going.
Yeah.
I guess.
I feel
wandering
yeah.
around the fields.
Well, I think would also be a good idea if there's all these missing oars or missing devastation. If there's any floating wood underwater as well, like I know there's rapids and stuff, but I'm wondering if we can. That's where I would assume it might be washed up on banks, so it might show that we're going in a right direction, perhaps.
Sure.
So yeah.
So you keep going upriver, and you do find you come across a sort of barn on the edge of the water. And you're sort of a little way, but you can hear voices inside the barn. And you can actually see there are a couple of rowboats tied up outside it on the riverbank.
Oh. Shall we? I guess can we vaguely make out what the voices are saying?
If you want to get
do they
closer.
sound? Yeah. Do they? I guess.
They're
Do
raised.
they sound raised?
Yeah.
Oh, the shouting. Okay.
Maybe not fully. There's definitely a disagreement going on.
Right. Oh, maybe
Shall I hum very casually but loudly?
Let's get a little closer,
right.
and then if we need to make an entrance, I think your humming will help us, because then we'll be like, oh, we weren't listening in at all, because it's very bad manners to do
Yes,
that.
just casually humming. is right.
Casually, little.
Yes,
That sort of-
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. I'm very, very casual.
You are
Cool
this
and casual.
cool
That's
and
me.
calm, like
Yes.
still water. Yes.
Yes.
How are you
yes.
approaching this barn? So there is sort of there is a front door. There's sort of almost a path now appearing. You can see through the sunflowers that leads to the barn, and then on the riverbank, you also can see from the distance there are sort of doors. It almost looks like they can open up doors onto the riverbank, and maybe they even have. You can't quite tell from here, but it might be that the water goes sort of into the barn, and you could
and out, yeah.
row a boat in, for example.
Yeah. Ooh.
Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky.
Sneaky.
Through the flowers, yes.
Cool.
Tiptoe through the sunflowers.
Yeah, I won't make you roll for this. They're not looking out for anyone. You get close to sort of the side of the barn as you go through the sunflowers, and you start to hear voices, and they're raised, but they're not necessarily angry. They sound quite jovial, maybe, like there are people having a drink. They sound like they've maybe had a couple. And you can hear one voice going, idiots, all of them. Cheers to the frog people. And then you just hear like a big clink of glasses, and people just laughing, and then a little bit of you hear a guitar start and a little bit of music.
Oh.
Do you think they like the frog people? Do you think they're congratulating the frog people because
Well,
they're
I don't know. I normally is a cheers to the frog people. Out of
cheers to the
context
frog
sounds
people. It does sound, the words
Oh.
are nice, but the way they said it,
the preface of idiots. Yes.
but yes, but I don't think they thought the frog people were idiots.
Well, I mean, we'll find out. We can always inquire. You know, I think best foot forward, be transparent as possible. It's always worked out well for me.
All right, let's do it.
See, was Shamini Bundell not going to yes and that? Aha!
Shamini Bundell thinks that's a terrible plan. Oh no! Yes and.
Yes and.
Yes, and?
All right, do your whistling. Let's go.
Are you going round to the front door?
Here we are, walking along. Not eavesdropping, just
So the
singing
doors
our
are
song.
wide open to this barn. And as you walk past, and you sort of both, very casually of course, turn your
Casually.
heads to look in as you sing your songs, which I imagine is in perfect unison. You're just both walking in and going,
Oh,
Oh!
oh gosh!
Oh gosh!
You see, there is sort of this gully going in to the barn, and there is in fact another boat in the gully, and along the walls you see various woodworking tables, lots of different places. You see, there's one wall that has some like silks hanging from it, and you do see on the floor there sort of seems to be some scraps of wood. And make me an observation check.
I got a full 6.
A full 6.
I got a full 4.
Okay. You're both as good as observation as you possibly could be. Shantez, you get drawn to the people, and you see there are 3 men in here, and one has a guitar, and is sort of sat with his legs into the gully, feet dangling in the water, just sort of strumming away, sort of plucking away, not not singing, not sort of playing a song, just sort of playing around with a guitar. He has sort of a tankard next to him. And then on the other side, there is a larger gentleman with a big grey beard, looks a bit older, but very large, not rotund, muscular, tall and built. And then the other man looks a lot younger, and is sort of busying himself with some bits of wood on the floor, which, Boomer, you notice are a lot of different oars, all painted different colours.
A little shindig. Do you mind if we join you? Ha 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 ha.
You see the larger gentleman turns and goes, "Oh, ladies, please, come in. We're having a good day."
Yes, I can see. Oh gosh, you setting up some sort of business with all these oars?
You are looking at the future best merchants in Nievod.
Oh,
Can I offer you some whiskey?
I personally don't partake. If you got ginger beer, that would be smashing.
Ginger ale.
Oh, best of both worlds. Compromise. Yeah.
There we go. And sort of goes into, I don't know, a fridge. Mini
fridge.
A box of ice.
A box of ice,
It's
yes.
another mini
It's
fridge.
another weird chest full of ice. There's lots of them here. We've also got some cream of ice if anyone would like one. Chucks you out a couple of ice creams, a ginger beer, and
Right.
for you, my lady. Looks at you, Shantez.
Usually I merely drink the moonlight or inhale the scent of a summer's afternoon. But cream of ice, if you have it, I suppose. Yes.
Yeah, we've got
Right.
a couple. And chucks you a chocolate cream of ice. And Boomer, with that 6, as he opens the crate that has the ginger ale and the cream of ice and various other goodies in, you see
well-stocked.
a very small pot of honey. And he shuts the lid again.
I see you're all quite stacked up. Lots of goodies here. You say you're starting a business. Oh, well, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Well, you see, you from Newvod?
We're just passing through. We're part of the. Have you heard of Mappa Mundi Institute? We're a couple of chroniclers, eh?
Oh, Yeah, the animal people.
Yes, creatures of the wilds.
Yeah, well, there's some weird ass ones around here. I'll tell you that.
Like what? Like what? Boomer, take notes.
I've got
There's
it.
this
Yep.
chicken that has fire for a tail.
Yes,
That's
yes.
weird. The toads, obviously, bit odd around here. I
Obviously.
saw a bright pink duck yesterday on the river.
Bright pink, huh?
Yeah, like fluorescent. I don't even know if I know what the word fluorescent really is, but a
Just
fluorescent
bright.
duck. Like if you had a thing called a black light, which I don't even know what it would be,
Yeah.
I feel like you would see it.
Wow, even in the darkest of times, it
Exactly.
would just
Yeah.
pop. Whoa, very nice. Curious, you mentioned the frog people. We're actually on a bit
Nosy.
of a. No, it's just we're on a mission of some sort. We were looking for. We've heard some rumors, some sightings of said frog people. Have you managed to spot any in your recent gathering of items and whatnot for your store?
Yeah, well, not up here. They're the other end of the river.
Ah, I see.
They tend
also-
to live sort of nearer the estuary kind of thing.
The estuary, okay. And I saw. Are you going into the honey business as well? I would point to where the chest was.
Make me a. I guess it's deduction. Make me a deduction check here. Is it deduction? I think it is. I think it has to be deduction.
I think it is deduction. Yeah. I don't think any of my skills would help in this. Okay, it's a 3.
Okay. He sort of cocks his head towards you. You're asking a lot of questions.
Oh, I'm just a genuinely curious chronicler. That's why we're very important.
She writes all of the answers down. Very
Yep.
important to have everything written down. Helps you understand the realm, the creatures within it, the flow, the movement.
Yes. Yeah.
Your movements, for example. Where would you say they were from and to?
Well, I don't quite know, but you probably know all about. Well, we call them the frog people, but the Vod Yannick. They're
Obviously, we knew that was in fact their proper name, and we would not be so rude as to call them frog people.
well, we call
Say
them
that
frog
again?
people. The Vod Yannick. They've been causing some damage.
Oh no,
Near Vod. It's been very sad.
that is very sad. Why would they do that?
Oh, it's just what they do. If you don't offer them honey, and you see he lifts up the chest and just pulls out one of the pots and goes, "That's why we've got this here. You see."
To keep yourself safe from the Vodyanik.
Exactly. And but when people don't appease them, they can get very aggressive. And we don't want that to happen, you see, but when they do, well, people, they need replacement things, and they have been kicking up their displeasure recently, so more work for wannabe merchants such as myself and my brothers here.
It's curious. You say about like things, I don't want to say going missing or anything like that. It's interesting. There were reports of brightly coloured oars disappearing. I sort of like tapped my boot against one of them. Like I think it was 56. I can't remember. Yeah, it's fixed. Yeah. Oh,
And it just so happens that someone put an order in for us to bring them 56 new ones, and sort of taps them again with his foot.
Oh, and so brightly coloured as well.
We like to make things look pretty.
Fate Weaver. Am I
Shantas.
correct in thinking? I don't know why. Did she make her own honey,
No.
or did she get it from a shop?
No, she bought.
No.
Because in fact, I believe one of the Patreons became the honey maker.
Is that what I was thinking
I think that's
of?
what we're thinking
Okay.
of. But no,
Yeah,
she bought
I-
the honey.
Okay.
I was about to accuse them of stealing it, and I was like, I don't think she made her honey, so that's why I've got.
No, yeah, we can't.
I
Identify
thought
it
that as
as
well.
unique.
I
Yep.
thought that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Because otherwise, map the movements of these merchants like they stole the honey.
Yeah. Okay.
Look, I don't wish to assume, because you know what they say about assuming makes an ass out of both you and me. But I would suggest this order maybe as an act of kindness, you could deliver it back to, I believe, named Darius back on the jetty.
That's exactly what we're going to do.
Great. And maybe you just say an apology as well.
Why would we do an apology for
Well, it seems to me that
helping a man out?
I'll be honest. The three of you, I mean, you look very strapping young lads, but between
Ivan,
you three of you,
Laszlo, and Andre.
oh, I like how you've got happy to help badges on. That's great.
We don't. Thank you. That says happy to hurt, actually.
Oh
No, it says happy to help. No, it's good for business. It says happy to help, actually. Yeah, no, that is what it says. I can't
I think
read.
you've got a little peel on your badge there.
There's a reveal where you peel the help off.
Villains.
The bad guys.
Look, I just, between the three of you, don't get me wrong, gentlemen. I'm sure you're all fine, strapping folks, but you don't look like woodworkers and people who make cream of ice and make your own honey. It feels like you're more opportunists that would take things.
And you don't look like someone who's going to stop us.
Oh dear.
Andre, put the oars in the boat.
Hold
We
it
should
back.
take them to Nivod.
What are you doing? Boomer! Boomer! What are you doing, Boomer?
No idea.
What are you doing, Boomer?
Okay. You say there are oars all across, like higgledy-piggledy kind of
they're
thing.
fairly, they're sort of stacked, but they are in like a big, and you're right
Sure.
next to them. You and Ivan are right next to them. Yeah.
Perfect. Through my resourcefulness, if possible, I would like to hit one of them with my foot, which will then cause a chain reaction, so it hits Ivan in the face with the final one, like a
I'm standing on a rake.
I'm gonna
Yes,
need.
exactly,
I'm
but not
gonna
for me.
need a roll for it, and
Okay.
I'm gonna need a traversal roll.
Some complex
Or
understanding
actually,
of
is there a
physics.
skill associated with resourcefulness?
I've not written it down.
There might not be. I might be getting that wrong.
I don't think. I don't know off the top of my head.
Hang on, please hold. I think there might be. You're a fix. Oh, hiccups.
Yes.
Resourcefulness.
Yeah.
Resourcefulness.
This could end
Exploration.
badly,
You can
that-
make an exploration roll if you'd rather.
Okay, still a D4. That's okay. That's okay. But again, I'm just trying to be like, it's almost like Lego Master Builder.
Yeah, great.
Let's try to. That's a 2, so I might hit myself in the face.
So I think with the 2, it's you do the oars start falling, and I will say with a 2, you do in fact hit Ivan in the face with an oar. However, you also knock some others which start rolling towards you and under your feet, and you start doing that thing where you're like running on top of them. And as Ivan gets smacked in the face with one of these oars, he falls into the gully in the barn and like splashes down into the water. You are going to fall in unless Chanteuse, there is anything you would like to try and do.
Don't worry about me, Chanteuse.
As Puma says, as it's sort of running in place as these oars are
Where are
going.
you going? Boomer, where are you? Why are
Okay,
you? Why
and
are you?
splash.
Moving backwards slowly. Oh,
Boomer and Ivan are both now in the water. Ivan comes up spitting and is like, "You bitch!" and is then just like
that
just swimming
not-
and like
stop,
treading
stop,
water,
stop,
trying to get
yeah.
into the boat.
that was rude. Okay, Boomer, maybe we should just. Okay, I'm gonna go and try and pull Boomer off. Is it sharp sides, right?
Yes, it is. It's been
Yeah,
carved. Yeah.
Yes, I shall go and.
Yeah,
Come on,
I will.
Boomer.
I'm going to let you do that. I'm going to say you reach down. You sort of managed to pull. Andre is the one who he's sort of now holding a lot of oars, and sort of torn between doing what Ivan said of putting them in the boat or helping Ivan, but goes to help Ivan, but is holding too many oars and is kind of doing that thing. He doesn't. Poor little. He's a little guy, and he doesn't really know what to do. And the guy with the guitar is just sort of who you believe is probably called Laszlo, given the names that were given. He just sits there and just goes. Idiot, and just keeps playing the guitar. And Chanteuse, you manage to like pull Boomer out before anyone can help Ivan.
I think maybe we depart before more words are said that I'm sure people don't really mean.
You need to get out of here right now.
Yes. I think, and I do it like a big wink to Chanteuse, and I go, yes, we should report to the Institute straight away that we found the cause of all the vandalism and whatnot.
It wasn't. You just hear, and he falls under the water again. He's like, and I assume you both leave.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Please,
Yeah.
come on, Boomer.
And as you you move away and sort of, I assume, probably start running into the sunflowers.
Gliding elegantly,
Gliding
but
elegantly.
yet quite a pace.
Well,
The feet have to move very, very fast so that
Yes,
you
yeah.
maintain a glide.
I prefer, yeah.
Beautiful.
Rugged training, yeah.
And you
absolutely.
eventually find your way back to where you tied up your boat. And there doesn't seem to be anyone following you.
Well, I apologise, Chantes. I just saw red briefly.
Yes.
I hate it when people use stealing and blaming it on others. Certainly, poor defenseless creatures like the frog. Like I suspect you think as well. Like they took the honey. Like,
I was just thinking that they took the honey and then caused chaos so that they could that. That's
Possibly.
dishonest.
Very dishonest.
Yes.
So, I do think we should make good on our threat to talk to the Mappa Mundi Institute to maybe. Well, we've got their names now: Ivan, Laszlo, and the other one that was
Andre.
underwater, Andre. We can report them to the guild at least, and so.
Although it seems like it was the frog people causing the damage, and I want to make sure that they said the frog people were at the mouth of the river. Maybe we could go and try and ensure that, despite honey supplies potentially being disrupted, what if one year there's a nectar shortage and the bees struggle? We can't have the Vodanic, causing too much trouble. Maybe we go and.
I think that's an excellent plan. Yes, we can go back to the institute much later. But I think I feel like there's been a lot of scapegoating, blaming.
Yes, exactly.
From the children, from these guilds. So I think we need to properly investigate. So you're right.
Yes.
And I would say,
Pop it.
with that, you get on the boat, on the wood knot, and you begin sailing back downriver towards the city. And I think let's take a little break there. I think this feels like a good time for maybe a cheeky lore drop.
It's time for information.
Yes!
Well
You've
done.
had your fun, now you get your learning.
You were very patient.
Facts.
Okay, so I've got some lore drop for you today. Last episode, well, and just a general theme.
Here's the big picture of the frogman. Here you go.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Please.
Frogmen eating honey. So I was like, okay, how would a frog eat honey?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and this does actually go back to something we did lore drop this, or well, no, we did what did we used to call it?
D&D
back in the
brief.
day. We had a D&D
brief.
brief. Oh, was it a D&D brief? We had a D&D brief about
Frogs.
frog tongues and frogs' non-Newtonian saliva
So cool.
being used to grab bugs.
So cool.
Apparently, all saliva is somewhat non-Newtonian.
Yeah, I read that after we did the thing. And like blood as
Yeah.
well can be like a little bit non-Newtonian.
Ooh.
So I was like, wait, hang on. Does this mean that every fluid has like an element of non-Newtonianness to it? But I think like obviously
knows?
cornflower custard and stuff is the big one. But then frog
yeah.
saliva is definitely part of it as well.
But so you do you know about this, Fiona? Like the thing about like walking on custard, like a non-Newtonian fluid.
I've seen. I know the thing about the cornflower. I've done it myself in like a baking class, and it go everywhere.
Really, you hit it.
Yeah.
Was it
Well,
good?
you
I thought you were
hit
going to
it
say
hard
you
enough.
walked
No,
across
you
custard,
put it
but-
together, and you keep
Yeah.
it moving in your hands, and then you throw
Yeah.
it to each other when the teacher's not looking, and then if you get caught, it might go through your hands.
What a great game.
Fun time at
That
food
is a
tech at
great
my school.
game.
They made us do food tech as well. I hated food tech.
You clearly weren't doing it right with the game.
Mine
Anyway,
weren't. We weren't playing the game.
Apparently, my curry wasn't very nicely presented because it was a rice all in one, and I was like, I think this is racist. But anyway,
Feels racist.
racism didn't exist in the 90s, so I was just like a bit sad.
You know what I will say about food tech? They gave us a recipe to make these little, they were chicken and leek parcels with like Boursin cheese in. And I made them and they were very good. And I took them home to my parents and we ate them. And we were like, wow, this is really nice. And it has led to the recipe that I use when I try and like cook for people. And my mum loves it as well. We basically, instead of making little parcels of it, you make a chicken and leek pie with puff pastry, with like Boursin and stuff in. And it is so creamy and leaky, and I do it with like tofu and stuff now, but it is so tasty, and yes, and it's So thank you. That is what food tech did for me. But that's the only thing I think I liked
All
out
right.
of everything.
Dinner
we cooked.
at Emily's next
I
week.
failed
Hey,
to
I'll
get
cook it for
anywhere
you.
in this
It's one of my
Lord
like 4
Rock.
dishes
Sorry.
that I cook.
Go for it.
No,
We
we're
got
talking about frog
standardised
saliva. I
Yes,
got
let's
completely.
start- yes.
What's happening? Oh, right, frog saliva. Okay,
Yeah, sorry,
right.
yes.
Custard, non-Newtonian fluid. So that just means that when the fluid is under stress, its property changes. It becomes more or less viscous. So custard, corn flour. When when it's under stress, like you're walking across it, you're stamping on it. There's pressure. It gets harder. Frog saliva is the opposite. It gets more fluid.
Is that right?
Yes. I'd gotten slightly confused / forgotten about this, because what it is the whole point is frogs, they've got the tongue, they've got, let's say it's a bug and not some honey, and then like
I'll
the
reenact
bug's
it.
there.
You
Okay.
Yep.
talk it.
This
is the bug.
Oh, all right.
And the frog wants to fling its tongue out at high speed towards the bug. The frog is going to whack that tongue into the bug. Now, it is very important that bug does not then go flying off in the other direction.
Right,
That bug then gets stuck to the very sticky saliva of the frog's tongue, and then that bug needs to get dragged suddenly back into the frog's mouth without sort of just getting left behind and torn off. Like, it needs to be the stickiest.
Oh.
I
Emily
heard
Bates,
it
that
from
is
my
a
tongue.
clippable event if I ever saw one. So let me put that down in my timestamps.
It needs to be very sticky, right?
Yeah.
So what they do to kind of maximise, in a way, the stickiness, firstly, they have very soft tongues. So you're the bug, Fiona the bug is sitting there, suddenly gets like enveloped in this, like, I like to think of it as an almost duvet-like softness of like tongue is, you're sinking into it. It would be lovely if it wasn't a frog's tongue. And then the saliva, which is very sticky, but now goes all liquidy and flowing, gets in all the little cracks. It splashes onto you. You're just a little bug, and suddenly you're like, whew, saliva. And then it hardens again, and you're like, no.
But is that not because it stops when it hits the bug? So
yes,
like
yes.
it's going really quick, and therefore that's
Yeah.
like the impact. So it hits the bug and it stops.
hits the bug.
Then it becomes liquid again, like it would with if you stopped. Like if you imagine your hand and the custard. So like when you're moving the custard, it's going really fast. It's solid, right? And then it hits there. It's solid, but then you leave it for a second. I.e., you leave it on the bug,
Yes.
and then it goes in, and then you move it back, and it goes solid again. So it is a non-Newtonian fluid. Same as custard.
The point
That's how I thought it.
at which.
I could be wrong.
Is that right? The point at which it becomes a liquid is the pressure when it hits it. That's like the highest, like, ooh, right? That's like the bang when it's hitting an insect and it's getting all liquidy.
Yeah.
Because of
But isn't that
the
where
hits.
it's getting solidy?
No, that's what I thought as well. I definitely
yeah.
like watched this and I was like, oh, that is backwards to how I thought it was.
But then
There was a
then
very nice
it doesn't make
2017.
sense.
Well, the liquidiness is to get the bug suddenly.
No, that makes sense. But I thought
Enveloped
that was
in it.
because it stopped moving quickly. That's why it went liquidy.
No, because it hits the bug, so suddenly it's under pressure. It's like if you're hitting it in your hand.
Oh,
It
so
So
hits
it's
the
the
bug.
opposite of a non-Newtonian fluid. A Newtonian
Well, a non-New-
fluid.
No, a non-Newtonian fluid just means its properties change, right? It doesn't say which way round it goes. It's a sheer.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fascinating. Oh, I had that wrong. That means our previous D&D brief is absolutely wrong. Because I'm
Quite
pretty
possibly,
sure
'cause
that's what
I
I
thought
said.
it was
You
the
guys
other
are
way
just
around as
updating.
well.
We're just updating now.
Yeah,
Previous
this
fact,
is
wrong.
our fixing of that.
And then I
Get the
did think,
boardroom.
and then I googled because I was like, I want this to be true.
Yeah.
Is honey a non-Newtonian fluid?
Ah.
And I found
Or is it
some
just
sites that
sticky?
said some of them do have non-Newtonian fluid properties. So I was like, okay, we've got non-Newtonian fluid from the frog. We've got the honey. Like, we've got them coming together. We've got them liquefying, forming one, and then getting sucked back into
Maybe that's the reason why this big
Vodianic's
frog
mouth.
character came and actually picked up the honey rather than using the tongue because it had too many
Yes.
bad experiences.
Yeah.
That is the
Where it's just
reason.
gone,
doesn't
all the
work
way
with
out.
honey.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm just going to get out, put it in my little bag and leave. Yeah.
So yeah,
Little bag.
yeah, and this is assuming that the Vodianic have non-Newtonian saliva and high-speed tongues. Honey is not really going to escape if they miss though. So slightly less
great.
fraught of a situation.
Just
I really
that
enjoyed
idea of like in the first couple of days that there's just like wet tongue patches around the door as it misses, like trying to grab them. Fuck. Oh, fine.
Yes. I really like. Thank you for acting out frog and insect
You're
response.
Yes, well, Emily,
that was
best
beautiful.
frog actor.
My hair
goes
grip
to-
that was
Yeah.
playing the insect for my
good.
performance. It hurts if you put that on your tongue for a long time. So my tongue hurts now. So you two are going to be doing a lot of role playing. Right.
Where are we?
Where are you? Right. So
Where are
we come back, and you two are on the wood knot, on your way. Where are you going? You have made your way back to the wood knot after an encounter with, an encounter with a beautiful creature made up of thousands of insects and birds, and then also an encounter with some humans, which went less well.
I feel like we've got a skill set, and humans is not it.
That's why we got recruited by the Mappa Mundi Institute.
Yeah.
Just deal with. We don't have to deal
So
with.
bad with people. Quick.
You started off
you know
as like
who's-
group leaders, and then they were like, put them with the animals.
Well, you know who's good with people is Morgana. Hence why all the invoices go to her. She's like the big
yeah.
adult. I believe our plan was to go to the estuary to see if we could meet with these frog people and really get to the bottom of this murky water problem.
But yes.
Yeah. All right. Shocks away, and I'll undo the boat, and I guess, yes, hit on the rudder.
Hit on the
And I'm like,
It's
just
on
so
the
you-
rudder.
You do a
Just rudder.
10-point turn
How
in the
you
river,
doing?
and you manage to turn it around.
I'll shout to Shantas. Just so you know, port is left side because that's the side the ship would always be like tied to when you went into cities. Would be the port side, the left side, and starboard is the right side.
Port out, starboard home. So isn't it the other way?
No, I thought port was next to is left, isn't it?
But isn't it port out? I know it from the song from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Port is left. Port is left and starboard is right, for
Port
sure.
is left.
Starboard home is about going to America, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah. Well, where are you going out to?
Out into the world. Starboard is home, which is why I was like, oh no. But you
No,
would be turned the other way
port
around.
out, starboard home is about how you want a cabin on the port side and a way out, and your starboard side and the way home.
Starboard home. Posh with a
'Cause then
capital
you
P
get
O S H.
The best sun, because you've always got a cabin facing south.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what I always heard.
Okay.
Like it's one of
Do
those
some
things.
role
could be an
play, and
urban
I
myth,
will
but-
Okay.
Google.
So port left, starboard
Not
right.
about that.
So what?
It is about no. It is about the cabins. It's the cabins. It's the cabins. Charmony
If
is
you
right.
see one that's... Tell you what, let's simplify this. If you see a rock on the left, you shout, go right. If you see a rock on the right,
I
you
don't
shout,
think.
go left.
Oh, I don't think that. Look, I like
actually
a yes
where the
and
word-
as much as the next person. Yes, that's where the word posh
The
comes
posh
from.
word posh actually comes from
It's
port out, starboard home.
Starboard home. But posh. Because if you're posh,
Yeah.
you can afford the cabin on the sunny side of the ship.
That's a bonus
Going
law
to
drop for you.
America.
That's a little
Whoa.
etymology
I don't really do
bonus
that.
law drop.
Incredible.
No, it's from. It's not. It's well, according to. I will say to not necessarily the right thing, but from. Yeah, it's for actually. The ocean line is from India.
Yeah.
So it's
I got
to
a bit
UK.
confused because then from India, they have to go.
Britain to India. So port out. So from Britain to India, the
Are
port
they going to
would be
through
cooler.
the Suez Canal? Oh, they wanted the. So it's not about having the sunny side.
No, it's about having the cooler
cooler
side.
side.
Yeah.
That's why I got confused
Yeah.
because I was like, if you were going to America, you'd want the sunny side. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's about having the cooler side.
That
makes a
is
lot of sense.
interesting. That is interesting. So you learn. See, and now we
Yeah.
have to go back to the fun. I'm sorry, everyone. Okay, right, back to the game now. Boo.
fun.
Boo,
Fine,
not the
we'll save the
game.
frog
We want to
people.
learn more about the word posh. Okay, you make your way. Are you going to Newvod, or are you just going to keep going down the river?
Keep going. Maybe
Yeah, I
we'll
think
wave
towards
to
the
some
estuary, yeah.
people on the way past. We'll keep a lookout for any new vandalism. We'll just keep a lookout for anything suspicious on the way. But
Okay.
we'll just go ahead.
Okay, no, we'll say you keep going down the river, and you've navigated this bit of river already. So we'll say this is actually a Right Wise journey card, and you perfectly happily make your way down the river. If you would like to shape anything that you see as you go down the river, that's absolutely fine, but that's just a little flavour if you fancy.
I mean, look, since you've offered,
Yes, I think
how
we
about
have to. Yeah.
how about a cream of ice shop that dangles over the river?
Oh my god, yes!
To serve boats and hen parties or stag parties because they need a lot of cream of ice.
Yes,
Yes.
and we could just pay at one end, grab the
Yes.
ice creams at the other. Yes, like
As
a
we're
railway train
sailing
getting the
by.
mail.
Yeah.
You see a
You
sort
are.
of teenage girl with like red hair tied up in a ponytail, and she's sort of sat like a few meters down the river from what you can see is like a little shack, and she's holding a little sign that says cream of ice takeaway, and as you
The
go
sign
down
around.
and you see,
Yeah.
and she's like, cream of ice takeaway, if you just down there you pay me, they give you cream of ice.
Oh, what flavours? What have you
She-
got?
Strawberry, banana, chocolate, vanilla, caramel, mint, choc chip.
What are you thinking?
You don't
I'm
have
just-
much time. She's holding her hand out.
No, give the person the money.
Okay,
Give her the money.
We'll take all of them, and I just give a massive
One of each or all of them?
one of each. Yes.
Okay, great. And she starts going 5, 10, 15.
They do
20,
say if you want to
and she chucks
scam
a little
someone
bit
out
of
of their
money
money.
back to you, and then she pulls a rope. She's got all these different coloured strings next to her, and
Yeah.
instead of you get the sense that like there's one that's brown, there's one that's green, there's one that's blue.
Yes.
They probably link to different flavours that have been paid for,
Ah.
and she just like scoops up all of them and just yanks, and you just hear very faintly all these like ding ling ling ling. And you see a sort of a guy with a little round face, little round glasses, poke his head out the window and go, all of them? And she goes, all of them. And he goes, okay, one of each coming up. And then you sort of see as your boat goes down and you start to slow a little bit as you get closer, and then suddenly this guy appears with a little basket. And he's sort of barely taller than the window, and he goes, here you go, and like holds his basket out, and he goes, keep the basket, it's yours. Thank you, have a nice day.
Is there little shovels in them?
Oh shit! And then as you're floating away, just like chuck some little spatulas at you and float away.
Little beast indeed.
Pruma, I think maybe the sense of urgency created by the riverside float by situation has led to us purchasing more cream of ice than perhaps we otherwise needed.
And you just hear her go, and that's the plan.
If anything, my motto is challenge accepted. And then I just
We could have just stopped the boat. Why did we? We could have just stopped the boat. We didn't have to.
no need. Adventure awaits. Here, have your. Would you like some mint? And I'll just and we'll share them out.
I
Lovely.
voted mix all of the flavours together.
Oh,
that sounds bad.
Yeah,
the mint chocolate chip, like the little bits, are just frozen solid compared with the strawberry and the
Yeah.
caramel. Just
Yeah,
like,
there are little bits of strawberry in the strawberry as well, and like little bits of banana in the banana. Like this is good quality. Like you're pretty pleased with your
How much
purchasing.
did we spend?
oh, don't worry. I also
But
put
never
Some gold.
I sent as a self-sealed envelope to the Mappa Mundi Institute as well for more guards to do some invoicing if needed.
Expenses. Yes, of course. I forgot.
Did
we were on
you? That's
expenses.
good. Good to know. I didn't hear you say that. And you keep the receipt that was also in the basket, and you feel like you can probably expense that later. Yeah.
Business card, yeah.
So you make your way down, and you're starting to pass through Neovod. So you get to the jetty where Darius would be. And you keep going, you go past the watermill, you eventually get to where the school is, which is the sort of furthest down river that you have been. And you if
Can
you
I
wish,
just hide slightly, just in case anyone's?
yeah, you do
sees
hear
us.
that you hear stroke, and you see a couple of rowboats out ahead of you, and it does seem like some of the kids might be practicing their rowing with the future rowers of Leknitsa.
I mean, they're current rowers of Leknitsa. Like, what?
No, the
They're
future
going
sailors
to
of
be.
Leknitsa. I can't remember what I said.
I think it was future sailors. I think
Yeah.
that's what it was. But I liked
But
it.
they're not sailing. They're rowing.
And you do see the professor in his little
changed.
outfit still there with
Yeah.
a little megaphone being like, stroke, Stroke.
I hide.
You hide.
You hide?
You manage to hide. You know what? No, you know what? Are you using a skill for this? Because if
Yes.
not, yeah.
No.
What skill are you using?
I don't have
Yeah?
a skill for
Yeah,
this.
go on. You make one of those fit. No, roll me a traversal check.
I'll just roll, shall I? Yeah. 1.
Okay. It was going to be a 2. As you are trying to hide, you just hear, "Oh look! It's that stupid woman who fell in the river!" And they all start going, like, you sort of peek through the sides of the boat and you see them all like pretending to drown in a river, being like, "Oh, help me! The river's 4 foot deep. How will I ever get out? And the professor's like, "You must stop, boys, girls, stop it, please!" And your ship just sort of keeps going on by.
It's like,
But
hello, children. Oh, that's very good reenactment. Oh, good job, good job.
oh, it was so stupid. I was in the river talking to it. Lol.
It's a very good impression of you. Oh, no. Oh, I've eaten all the ice cream. Here, I've got some pocket cheese, if you'd like.
Thank you.
There you go, sweetheart.
Do you think I'm stupid, Boomer?
No, darling. I think, it's a creative license, parody, that sort of MacGuffins. You don't know. They don't understand because you talk to the river talks to you. And
It did. It spoke to me.
yeah, it did. It said it was angry, lonely, and incursion, which is quite a
Intrusion.
word. Intrusion. Incursion is a different word.
Similar, actually. No.
Oh.
Why do they have to be so mean? Why do they have to be cruel like that? I don't understand why. Because I didn't do anything.
And I'll sit down, leaving the rudder to run.
Boy.
Look, darling, pop it. Look, people are always going to say mean things. People say mean things about me. Oh,
Why?
Oh, because they don't understand Poppet. They are so ignorant, silly ignoramuses. Like the chaps back at the thing. They were cheersing the frog people. I think after our interaction, they did not like the frog people, so it was a sarcastic remark.
I think so too. Yeah.
Right, so we're on the same page. So don't take it to heart, dear one. You are different in a beautiful way, just as I am different in a beautiful way, and we are doing good in the world, even if they don't see it. So don't take those cruel words to heart. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt the Mappa Mundi Institute, unless they are invoices.
I don't want to care what school children in a school think, but you don't think I'm stupid.
Darling, I could never think you were silly, stupid. I think you're clever, unique, talented, and you have a nerve. You do
Mysterious?
so many things.
Do you think I'm mysterious?
Oh, sometimes I don't know what you're saying, and it's. But you know what? I bloody love it, Poppet.
Oh, I love you,
follow you to
Boomer.
the ends of Nivod and back. You know that.
You're the best.
Oh, scribble.
Okay. It's alright.
No, don't be sorry. Tears are good. But you know what? I should also have a big cry, and I just start bursting into
Oh
tears.
god! Oh my gosh! Oh no!
It's good, isn't it?
Is it? Okay.
The boat keeps going down the river with these two women just bawling their eyes out as you continue to go.
Nature is so beautiful.
Oh,
It really is.
really beautiful. As you keep going, the river is fairly calm.
We should have gone this way first. This is a better way.
Yeah, we know
This
now.
way. Now we know.
And you're going down the Green River. And you know that just outside Niavod, the Green River and the Blue River combine to form the White River. And you know at that point it probably is going to get a little bit more rapid, probably is the word. So if there's anything you would like to do to prepare for that, you can. But otherwise, we will just keep going.
If I see it's going to get more rapid, and being aware that not only has Chanteuse also been in the water at her own volition, I've been in the water against my volition. I would like to use my rope to tie us to the boat so that we don't fall off.
Perfect.
Doesn't seem safe.
You get to the point
No.
where these two rivers combine. And from what's been a fairly gentle journey, the wind has kind of been taking you, and the current of the river has been taking you. As these two rivers combine, you feel the current start to that feeling of them kind of bobbing around. You feel like it is all going. Now, this card could be inverted, but it's not, because you did a lot of very good work in your research phase, and you found out lots of things. So there was a world in which this would turn into a whirlpool, but it's not going to. You have tied yourself to the boat. So I am going to say that even though the boat sort of, it tips and turns and you are feeling queasy, like this is, you've eaten a lot of cream of ice actually. So I am going to need, we'll say exploration checks to see whether you can kind of keep your eye on the horizon enough to kind of stop yourself from throwing up.
Or just explore the contents of our stomach.
Yeah. What?
I got 2.
I got a 3.
Okay. I will say, Boomer, that is fine. You managed to sort of you bring it down. You feel it, but Chanteuse, you're not fully sick, but you go green. Like Boomer, you look over at Chanteuse,
It's not a good
and
colour.
it does not suit her. And
I'm one with the plants. I'm
get to the-
photosynthesizing.
you look at the and Chanteuse, you're not fully sick, but you do sort of have to stand by the edge of the boat for a little bit and just sort of get that breathe in that clear air and try and.
I'm
deep
just
breaths.
going to be one with the wind over here. I'm
Okay,
fine. I just like to commune and hear its
No worries,
stories.
Poppet. I'll slide over a bucket if she needs it. And then maybe there's a mop that I sort of like pat on the back of your shoulder, like there, because I assume we're tied to different sides of the boat.
You are now.
I've got this Poppet.
Right.
Yeah.
And after a little while, the boat does stop rocking so much, and you get more into sort of what you would call the wilderness of Leknitsa, and you sort of almost find the river going through a forest. The trees start to get thicker and denser. You sort of see these sort of oak trees and various deciduous trees sort of leaning over, and it gets much darker. But you keep going down the river, unless you wish to pull over at any point. But you keep going, and you look around, and you can see that as you enter this forest, some of the trees have been knocked down, and they actually make me an observation check.
Observation. Oh, a 5 for a Boomer.
2.
Okay. Chanteuse, these trees have been knocked down. It's very sad. Boomer, these have been sawn down. Like, these have been man-made, have been taken down.
Oh dear. Look at that. They've been chopped. Oh.
Sorry.
Sorry.
And as you keep going, you see in the distance, Boomer, there is a tree over the river, and is blocking the river. And if you keep going, you are going to ram the boat into a tree.
Mayday. Go to.
Put the brakes on! Brakes! Brakes!
It's not easy brakes. Quick, go to either starboard or port, whichever is closest. Left or the other left. And then I'll try and like maneuver so if there's a so we like to the bank if we can stop by the bank at least and weigh anchor or whatever. Yeah.
I will say, because you had a good observation check, you are able to pull the boat over, and again there is a tree that easily enough you are able to tie the boat to, but now you are going to be on foot.
No worries. Gosh, like that. It's question then. It's the I guess I know we'll probably have to get closer, but this tree across me is blocking the whole river. Is it like much higher up level here? Do we think like it's blocking off the whole river, so there's no water on the other side or less water on the other side?
Like a dam.
Yes, like a dam. Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. No, as you get closer, you see this tree has been sawn down. And has fallen, but this is it's above. It's hitting from bank to bank. It is not.
Right.
So the river is still flowing just fine underneath
not a
it.
dam.
Yeah.
Sawn in a straight line or sawn by a beaver?
In a straight line.
Ah,
Makes more sense.
yes, tracks. Yes.
Gosh.
Quite a tricky one. This one with.
Actually, you know what? I think it's better for the story. I'm going to retcon that. It does look like it's been brought down by a beaver.
Oh, we knew it.
I changed my mind.
Knew it. Did we know it? I didn't know it.
I had a small inkling of a theory that the beavers were the big bad.
This is quite a problem for general transport and trade.
But those previous trees, the tree line, those were sawn down. This one was cut by a beaver. So maybe there's been some disruption. Maybe I'm thinking back to where we've just come from the school. They were having some sort of renovations outside.
Yes.
So maybe they took the trees from here to be used back there. Makes
Were
sense
the trees
to me.
still there, or was the wood taken?
Some was taken, but not all.
Interesting.
Because they made like the slats and stuff, and some of them were like cut in half as like a retaliation attack, vandalism.
There is a lot of. I sense
Yes.
pain.
Oh, tingles.
I sense falling.
Oh,
I sense yearning for the sun once more. We need to get to the bottom of this.
indeed. I guess shall we carefully traverse, so to speak, the tree itself and go to the other side, or shall we like look in and see if there's any other goodies or information we can discern from being on top of the tree above?
We could just go on top of the tree because that's quite fun to go on top of trees.
Oh, you're right. I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, we can just. We don't need a reason. Yes, let's do that.
Excellent. All right, drops
So,
away.
because it is quite fun to be on top of the trees.
Should we go and look for something from it?
Shall we just?
We need to look.
If you both,
You're right.
you both start to you go over towards the tree, and you begin to clamber up. You can make me either an observation or a traversal check, and depending on what you roll, will depend on what I give you.
I will go for observation.
I've traversed only a 2.
Okay.
I observed a 1.
Okay, you're having a lovely time.
Yay!
This tree is fun. Chanteuse, you manage to get onto the tree, and you sort of do a little bit of tree yoga and things on the tree, and you sort of try and listen to the water underneath. You look at where the beaver chewed the tree, and you just sort of get a sense that maybe you're at some kind of boundary. Whereas Boomer, you are looking at where the beaver chewed the tree, and you trip over a root, and you fall into the river.
Backwards.
And Chanteuse, again, Boomer has gone into the river again.
I'm okay.
You're sort of clinging onto some vines on the side.
No worries, Poppets. I've done this. I'm practiced. I'm an old hat.
Boomer, you do manage to pull yourself out of the river, but you are now soaking wet, and you think you're probably going to get a cold from this.
Oh no!
Bracing.
You are on a tree, Boomer. You are wet. What would you like to do?
We carry
you rolled
on
very badly.
Yes, yeah, no, we're done with the tree now. There's nothing more that we can learn here.
Okay.
No more fun. We must continue our walk. We shall walk to the other side of the river.
Yes.
Because there was a tree. We wanted to walk across it. Now we're on this side, and then we shall
yes.
continue to walk.
I guess. Well, we should look out. If you want to look for the froggy footprints, as you saw earlier, maybe we can see a few others. Yeah.
That's such a good idea.
Well, I'm sometimes full of fun.
That's Boomer. That's
The
wonderful.
water was so bracing that I remember that's something that you did like yesterday.
Yes.
So.
Make an observation check,
smart,
or
isn't
use your
she?
skills if you feel like
She's
there's a
so
skill
smart.
that you have
I
that
do my best.
is
I would like to
appropriate.
use the skill of patterns to recognise fate's pattern in tiny fragments of the everyday.
Beautiful. You don't even have to roll with the use of that skill.
Nice.
As you look around, you do see from your vantage point on the tree, you do see on the other side of the river, so crossing over, you do see some sort of more froggy footprints, and you can see actually the ground seemingly become wetter and damper as it moves sort of further into the forest one particular way.
And the footprints going that way.
The footprints are going that way.
into the swampiest parts. Boomer, I think we must detour into this forest.
Ah, the favourite kinds of detours.
I sense amphibious things. And also there are these footprints, so that was a sort of clue.
And you do see this tiny little beaver footprints.
the
little paws as well.
culprits.
There we go. Yes.
We must follow
Which I guess
quickly.
you wouldn't. The tail has kind of run through them, actually, so it's just like a straight, like it's sort of almost like a gully next to it, where this sort of tail is probably dragged through, with occasional little footprints to the side.
Before we go, because I know we didn't pick up any additional gifts. Do we want to quickly? I mean, I don't think they were like the ice cream. I think we've eaten all the ice cream and the ship.
Cream of ice, please.
Gifts.
Cream of ice. I'm so sorry. The water really did a number on my my words. I'm sure I can find something from my never-empty pockets, but I just want to make sure if there's anything yet you would suggest, Chanteuse, before we reintroduce ourselves to our froggy friend.
We really should have kept some cream of ice. That would have been okay. Would have melted. That's fine.
I mean, I've got the tiny shovels with me because you always need a tiny shovel, but I don't know.
Can I
We've
go
also
look
got some
in
honey. Remember?
Oh, we do. Yes.
We took it.
From.
She gave you some more.
Oh,
Never
that's useful.
Oh, phew.
Because I was going to go raid the bar, like, and try and
You know
offer.
what? Chanteuse, you
frog
don't know
like-
you've got the honey. You've totally forgotten about the honey. So if you want to raid the bar,
I'm looking for the sweetest booze. The booze with the.
Like me.
I'll taste all of it just to see which is the sweetest.
okay. Make me a exploration check to explore this booze.
I will explore the mini fridge.
Come on.
That was a 6.
Okay,
This
Chanteuse,
booze so hard.
you start tasting all of this alcohol, and you
I'm
start
gonna have to go
feel
back to the
a-
first one just to check
of
whether that
course.
really was
Yeah.
sweeter.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
once
Yes.
my taste, I have to keep comparing.
Sparkling
them.
wine.
you
Or...
I have to compare each
find-
pair.
and you're tasting things, and you're like, "Oh, this is sort of a schnapps. That's nice. That kind of works."
Oh,
and
yeah.
and everything starts to taste a little bit better on second drink of it, and you're not quite sure, but you're like, "But this is good." But then you manage to sort of, you have a bit of water in between. You're being very sensible about keeping
So sensible.
your head on, and then you have a drink that is, it tastes so sweet. And it is almost, it flows over your tongue. It's almost buttery. And it's this rich honey mead that is in the fridge. And you're like, oh, if the frog people like honey, this could be a real thing.
I take the bottle like it's. I was gonna say gold dust. What's liquid? Nectar of the gods. Something. Yes. And take it off the. Go back across the tree.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you bring it over and then you carry on.
And then I
into the
balance
forest.
carefully across the tree, and then we go into the forest. Yes, I have.
Boomer,
This
Chanteuse
stuff
comes back.
is
She's
the good
swaying slightly.
The real good stuff.
Amazing good.
The
job.
gods, they have delivered this unto us.
Amazing.
The nature, the wind, the water, the sun has poured its essence into this bottle.
Incredible. Well, as you're such a sommelier now, maybe you can go and I will back you up if you want to introduce yourself to to our froggy friend. I can do the quick introductions, but you straight ahead.
Okay, and I'm just gonna hold the bottle.
Oh, all right. Left. Other left.
As you
And starboard.
as you keep walking, you can both make me exploration checks.
Absolutely. 2.
That's another 2 for me.
Okay. That's all right. As you keep walking, it's getting damper and wetter, and you can't quite work out where it's coming from, but it feels like water is being funneled to this location somehow. And with your 2s, you can't quite work out what's going on. But you do see. The forest actually starts to thin as you keep going. You're kind of you came into the forest, now you're kind of coming out at a 90-degree angle. And it's almost turning into sort of swampy grassland as you keep moving. And it's getting later, and the sun is sort of not setting, but it's getting to that lovely, like, deep, lots of colours in the sky, but the sun hasn't set yet. You can still see it. And there's something about this land and the way the water is moving and the way you're being guided. It feels almost man-made or like shaped in some way.
Oh, interesting.
The forest wants us to travel this path.
Indeed. Man-made in this way. Just feels it's interesting, Shanti, darling. I just if it was if it's not. Do we think our frogs friends did this, or the beavers, or do we think it's more? Yes, you know what? Should have gone with my gut. It was beavers. Okay. I'm right behind you, darling. Don't worry.
Okay.
As you trudge through the mud and the sort of sodden grass,
Dress used to be white.
It is absolutely brown now, the whole way up, and just sort of every bit about both of you feels slightly damp. There is no, your feet are so wrinkly, like you are pruning. It is that horrible feeling. But I will say you don't have that like salt water thing. It's all fresh water, so at least your hair is feeling good. It's not feeling, when your hair feels all salty and crunchy. I hate it. As you get closer to what we don't know, but you start to see this swamp taking the shape of a lake, and there are reed beds suddenly appearing in what is essentially should be a field. In any of the maps that you've seen of the area, there was no lake on anything, and you see a little sort of stack of wood and reeds kind of bundled in a sort of almost dome shape at the edge of this lake.
Oh, that's a lair. I've ever I saw one.
We don't call it a lair.
Oh, what do you call it, my dear?
A domicile.
Ooh. Write that word down for sure.
Just don't call it a lair. It's a lovely, lovely home. Shall we do the humming again?
You know what? I was hoping you would say that. After
Humming
three.
along, singing a song.
As you begin to sing, can you roll whatever your sing skill is, whatever is associated with sing?
Exploration. 5.
Okay.
Nice.
With that, you do not anger the creature as you move.
Great.
Why would our singing anger anyone?
But you do see in the lake, you suddenly see these two eyes appear, these bulbous green eyes. Well, dark eyes, but around with like green skin around.
I sort of, as we're sort of humming, oh, there they are. Oh. And I'll go into our little pack and I'll bring out the honey and I'll be like, oh, look what we have. There's a tiny pot of honey. You like honey? Don't you, honey?
More of
Isn't
the
it
face
funny?
appears, and the little beaver appears next to it as well.
You. And I sort of set it down on the ground and I maybe say like we take a step back and just like, oh, it's for you, but we need a little chitty chatty talk.
And the face sort of moves towards you and just sort of
Doesn't rhyme,
reaches
Boomer.
an arm out and pulls the honey under the water.
I will thinking on how we went. I will say this whole time, by the way, I still had my feather boa on. So
good
I
to
take
know.
this off. Yeah, I take this off, and I again do the sort of international sign for a charade for leg, and then I wrap my boa around it and be like, "Ha!" Then I take the boa off, and I sort of point to the creature and do the same thing again, saying like, "Put it like a tourniquet."
Oh, she's so smart. She's so smart.
Okay.
Sometimes I do.
Can you have
I've got resourceful.
what skill is that
Oh,
associated with?
Oh gosh, that's the one I don't know. Because I didn't write those down. Maybe I've got it here somewhere.
If it is,
Resourceful is exploration.
can you roll me an
Says here.
exploration check?
Oh, back to D4s.
Need a 3. Is it a 1?
Of course, it's a 1.
Okay. That's going to fray one of the threads.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
So, the monster has started with 8 intact threads. So now it's down to 7 intact and 1 frayed. You can repair frayed threads, but they are. The way I am running this is it's a suggestion in the book, but I quite like it. Each of the threads is attached to a different behaviour. If you sever that thread, you cannot learn that behaviour. There are some threads that you have already learnt the behaviours of, but there are some you have not. And so, yeah.
I go, oh, okay. I think my medical knowledge is not going through. There's too much jargon. And I put the tether around me like a stethoscope, like.
And you see it sort of turns away and starts to move back. And it goes to actually the other side of the lake to where you two are sat. And sort of pulls itself out onto the bank. And sits almost like a human would. And sort of opens the jar of honey. And just starts scooping it. And then and licking it off of its hand.
Can I sing another song?
You can certainly try to.
I'll call out as the Vodyanik is swimming away, and I shall sing. Do not flee, do not be hasty. I have something even more tasty. We just want to talk to yous. And in return, I'll give you booze.
Shamini, take another fate point for that.
Oh yeah, I've got fate points.
Remember, you've each got. Well, you've got
I've
one.
forgotten. What do we
Fiona,
do with
Fiona,
those?
you've got 2 at the moment.
What do I do with it?
You can use it to re-roll a check if you at any point if you want.
That's really good.
And
Keep those.
roll whatever is associated with your sing skill, please.
That's bloody good.
Okay. It is exploration, which is nice because I can do that. Oh, 5.
5, excellent. Okay, great. In which case, it pulls itself out of the river, and then turns and sort of scoops this honey and licks it off its hand, and looks back towards you as you sing, and sort of drops back into the water. And again, and this is similar to what you saw before, Boomer, it drops its mouth under the water, and you start to see bubbles appearing as it moves towards you. And it's looking at you, Chanteuse. And as it gets right up next to where you are, it reaches a hand out with more bubbles coming out of its mouth. And I'm going to give you the efforts to communicate behaviour.
Okay.
Lean over to Boomer and just say, like, it occurs to me that we have not taught this frog person about responsible drinking.
Oh, I don't. I think it's not driving anything, so I think we'll be okay.
Oh, good.
I think, if I may, if you're sort of gently passing over, like again doing your sort of song, if I'm close to you, I'm going to gently, as much as I can, get on my knees and put my ear underwater to see if I can hear it underwater.
Okay.
So she's so smart.
Can you make...
I don't know.
Smarty.
do you have either explore or talk as one of your skills?
I have read,
Okay.
which is a bit different.
Can
but I
you
don't
just
have
make me an exploration check?
exploration?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, maybe I need to change dice because I've been getting 1s on these 4s. That's a 3.
Okay. With a 3, as you put your ear under the water, you feel actually it get very close to your ear. And at first you just sort of hear this like bubbling. And then you just hear, friend. And you have unlocked a behaviour which is underwater speech.
So smart. I cannot bear it.
I go, Whoa.
Are you drowning again? Boomer, I'll save you!
No.
Shantez suddenly lifts Boomer out of the river.
No. It said the word friend. It used the bubbles. It communicates underwater. I don't think it can speak.
Oh, because we thought it would communicate above water because we're just so narrow in our viewpoint.
You know what? We are the idiots. We are the idiots.
We are idiots. Oh, and I shall join Boomer by sticking my head slightly too enthusiastically into a cold, muddy lake.
Okay. Shantez, make what was the check you made where you heard the water before?
Was it memories?
I think it was just one. I think it was
Patterns?
memories. I think it was you hearing the memory of the water,
Yeah.
which I don't need actually. But as you put your head under, because you're both. I'll say you're both sort of listening in again. You hear it. It's talking. Talking is a strong word for what it's doing. Yeah. It is using words, similar to what you heard in the water, Shantez. And with your memory skill, you get the sense that perhaps when you were in the water by the school, you were hearing the memory of what the Vodyanik was feeling when it was around there.
It wasn't angry water.
And
this is a shocker.
Angry.
You hear it say hurt, scared,
Oh no!
and then friend again.
Right. Locking eyes with Chartreuse and like, okay, ready? And I just turn my face into the water. I go, yes, friend.
Make me make me a deduction check here.
Great.
Unless you have a skill you would like to add to this, but
I would like quickly to add a skill to it if I can.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, it's still going to be a 1. I'm going to use
Use your fate point.
Oh yes,
you can
fate
use
point.
your fate
Accept-
point.
Oh, okay, thank God. But I will also use steady hands to make sure the bubbles go towards.
I know. Okay, I will. Okay, you will need to re-roll. You're going to need at least a 2.
fine.
If
God.
not,
Fine. Well,
probably
it's better than the 1. Okay, using that point. Come on.
I'll give you a
please.
2.
Gotta be friends with this massive frogman. Holy sh! Sorry, I can't swear. It's a 2. It is a 2.
It's a 2. Okay.
It swears quite a lot if you haven't noticed.
You're allowed to swear.
I know, but I was trying to not so swearing. Anyway.
As you do this, you kind of blow these bubbles into the Vodyanik's face, and it sort of recoils, and you see it kind of, and it kind of almost grimaces at you, and it's not. You haven't frayed a thread. You haven't. You've not upset it, but you get the sense that another behaviour that you have just unlocked with that is easily angered.
Oh no.
Great. Okay.
Oh dear.
Grin. Okay. It's sad. It says it was lonely and injured. It was in pain.
And it does again. It now comes round, and it's still a couple of meters away from you, but it pulls itself out of the lake and sits down and sort of looks at both of you. And it sort of sits in that kind of froggy, cross-legged way. And the beaver is just sort of swimming near the feet of it, just backwards and forwards.
It's got a beaver friend. They've got a beaver friend.
But you know we were saying before about that you don't feel as bad if I believe in you. Well, we have our family is the Mappa Mundi Institute, and I wonder if our friend here, there's not many of their kind, and so beavers are great apparently, even though that's still to be determined. But maybe it's missing its mate or its family in some way.
I think we should start off with a leg. That seems to be at least something we could potentially fix.
Yes, I just worry if we go too close to it, we frighten it in some way. I didn't seem to understand the boa thing. It's not even the best.
Maybe it just thinks that you killed a lot of birds.
I mean, that pink plastic duck we were talking about. Pink duck, sorry, not plastic.
Plastic. You put that in your own head.
I know I did.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
If you want to follow
Anyway.
me on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/EmilyWB. We look at ducks and we
God,
name
always
them
hustling.
sometimes.
Look at that.
Plugging.
It's a little duck plug. Right, yeah, but that's my idea. You're good at ideas. I'm not. I feel I'm not good at ideas. We must help it
Yes.
and try and make it happy.
Happy. Right. I slap my knees to indicate I've had an idea. Oh, man, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to try and interact and use my play interaction.
Oh, that's lovely.
I'm going to gently go into the water and then turn around and splash Shantas.
Oh, that's not lovely.
Oh, come on, get me.
Betrayed!
Oh, I get to the water. And like, I sort of laughing and scream, and the little toys and scream like, "Oh, look, it's so funny to splash Shantas."
As you do it, you see the Vodyanik just sort of watches and is staring at you both quite intently.
God.
And the beaver turns around and slaps its tail in the water and splashes the Vodyanik. And the Vodyanik turns to the beaver, and you've not unlocked a behaviour of the Vodyanik, but you have unlocked a behaviour of the beaver, which is enjoys company.
Oh, so sweet. Oh.
You do see the Vodyanik, however, sort of is looking very confused, and you have frayed another thread.
Damn it. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Oh, it's a bit. Third time I've been wet today. Let's get back into the bank.
And you see it sort of slinks away a bit, and it's putting some more distance behind you, but it seems to be maybe going about its usual life now. It goes back into the water, and with the beaver it kind of swims around a bit, and you see the beaver start to move some sticks over to the lair, and the Vodyanik sort of sits on the side and pulls out this pot and sort of scoops out the rest of the honey, and then just sort of starts scooping up water from the pot and just sort of pouring it back in, and then like it looks like it's cleaning out the little glass honey pot.
Horrible.
Did it eat the honey?
It has eaten all the honey, yeah.
It scooped it through.
Oh, and it's actually taken the liqueur as well.
I was gonna say yeah.
So
sorry.
at this point, it sort of uncorks the liqueur and sort of sniffs it, and a long tongue kind of goes into the bottle and sort of comes out, and you see the eyes go incredibly wide.
That's not a replacement for happiness. More company. Just oh dear.
But it does seem to be sort of doing its regular routine now, other than potentially getting drunk. But it restoppers it, and it sort of swims back to the lair, and sort of you see it go inside, and maybe you assume it places it somewhere, but it does come back out and sort of peeks back at you.
Let us observe, Boomer, and let us chronicle, for that is what we
know
must
what?
do.
I agree. I think if we just show that we are no threat, maybe set up a little camp here, and just like be like we mean nothing, and then if it comes over, it's great. But yes, I think a couple of hours. I need to dry off and bring out.
I need to dry off. You splashed me.
Oh!
I
I'm so
stuck my head in a
sorry.
lake.
I'm so sorry. I take off my boots full of muddy water. I've reeds in my pockets. Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
But
say
I
you.
think, set up camp.
Yeah, you set up a little camp. And we'll kind of run through this. What do you think over the course of the next few hours? What interactions might you use to try and work out? We'll go one at a time here, just because of the sense of severing threads and things like that. At the moment, I will say you're doing pretty well. You've got 6 intact and 2 they're only frayed. So this creature seems comfortable around you. But you haven't learnt all of its behaviours. I will say there are a couple that are very... with your basic stuff, I will say you probably naturally get. So, for example... In fact, I'm just going to give you 2 of these here.
Gifts was one.
So you had demands offerings. That was from the first encounter you had.
Yes.
And since then, you've also got efforts to communicate. It was trying to talk to you. Underwater speech, which I will say you only unlocked because you found out the efforts to communicate.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you also found easily angered.
Yes.
And the other one I will give you, in fact, I'll give you two now. As you sort of sit there, and Boomer, I assume you draw as much of.
Yes. Yeah, that's my plan. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think with a couple of hours doing this, you realise one of its sort of qualities is it has a humanoid appearance. The Vodjanic, when sort of seen from afar, it looks almost like a stooped man. It has this big green beard, which seems to be made from reeds and mosses. Walks on two legs when it is walking, which occasionally it does a couple of steps outside of the lake. They're slightly bow-legged, but they're very powerful. They look very strong. And you think it looks like he's wearing clothes. You know, they are waterlogged, they are ripped in places, made from many different materials, but they are beautiful. And that leads you to the next behavior, which is makeshift clothing. And you do see in sort of on one of the sides of his sort of makeshift jacket, this purple scarf with green throughout.
Taken from the watermill person. Yes.
But then if you would like to let me know, there are two behaviours you haven't fully unlocked yet. But I will say you're not far away from unlocking them if there is anything you would like to do. You do see he is still slightly limping on his leg.
I think, unless Chanteuse has anything more immediate, I think the only thing I think Boomer doing is studying the creature. Sees that it's still limping and all that sort of thing, and is sort of like, maybe the bow wouldn't do anything. It doesn't look like it's like bleeding. So we'll go to like see if there's any loose, not taking from the lair obviously, but any loose like twigs and reeds, stuff like that, and like prepare like a brace of some sort using the inner workings or resourceful skills. So that but that just leaves it off to like, but then we'll perform and like put it on her own leg. Say, oh, this is great! Look at this! Wow! Whoa! And then like, well, this leg works. And then I'll just put it off close to the thing, but just make a performance like, gosh, look at this! Isn't it great to have a brace for a leg? God, amazing! Well, this was too big for me though. I'll leave it there. You know.
Can you make an observation check for me?
I'll try my best. Okay, that's a 3.
Okay. It is clear that the Vodjanic's leg is injured. And the more you look, you see there is this sort of deep gouge on one side.
Oh.
And he looks at you, put the brace down, and looks confused. The eyes furrow. And he goes back into the lair, and he comes back and sort of emerges almost in front of you, and gets out and sits next to you, and pulls from this sort of, I guess, pocket in sort of in his trousers. He pulls out 2 pots of honey, and he places one down next to you, opens the lid to one, scoops the honey out, and smears it across his leg. And as you watch, you see the skin underneath the trousers stitch back together. And you have uncovered the behaviour rejuvenation. And he is now looking at you and the pot of honey.
Oh. In my head, I'm like, that's amazing. But thank you. You know, try and bubble outside.
He slinks into the water, and you see some bubbles appear.
Yeah, I will go to. I don't want to use that person's honey, but I will go through the actions of like, and then like take a little bit and like dab it on my leg. I'm like, okay. and I just took it on a mic, sort of like thank you and stuff like that. And I think Shanti, I think our friend is okay. Uses honey as a salve and is I think better, but yes.
And looks from one to the other, and then you just watch as these super dark eyes just sink below the surface. And you don't see him return, but the beaver does sort of occasionally sort of come out and pop its head out and just sort of look around, move some sticks around, move some branches around. But you feel like you've got a much more of an understanding of this creature now. Is there anything else you would like to do before potentially heading back?
I think we should report our findings, Boomer.
Yes, I think. I wonder. I think we should go back to Mappa and leave our friend in peace. But I don't. Do we think then the frog is our frog fellow is responsible for the vandalism in town, or do we deal with the woods and stuff? I
think
suspect
so.
Not. You think so?
The greatest merchants in all of whoever they were thought so. They stole the honey.
Dude, I guess.
The Vodyanic's a little grumpy. You must admit, little bit grumpy.
I guess when we report back, I don't want them to come and hoist this wonderful creature out. You know, maybe we just say we need the logging things for the school and whatnot. It may have been an act of aggression, so it responded angrily. As we saw, it was a bit quick to anger. You know, so maybe more care. Maybe we can help draw up some procedures to ethically log the trees and whatnot if we need them for things.
I worry that the loneliness is a root cause of overall grumpiness that I don't know how to solve.
Maybe that is not for us to solve, Chance.
Wish we could help it.
I mean, maybe we can help it by leaving it alone.
We shall travel the world and look for other Vodyanik.
I love it. Amazing. More quests. Excellent. Right. Pack up. Right. Okay. Lead the way. And I sort of like, goodbye. Just wave.
See the beaver just sort of flaps its tail in the
Ah.
water. Lovely. You make your way back without event, and you find Morgana back in the Mappa Mundi Institute, and she goes, "Oh, hello, yes. How did school talk go? Yes, good. Took you a long time, like over a day. That's a long time.
It's the children. It was we were great.
Yes.
The children are fine. The children are fine.
Right? They're not scared of monsters no more. Great, good.
No, I would be honest. I don't think they were scared. I think the individuals we spoke to were just worried for them. And we definitely have one interested potential recruitment in the future. Don't worry, I gave them the pamphlet.
Great, good. I love this. Great. Okay, good. Okay, so anything to report?
Well, a couple of things. Firstly, you remember you mentioned merchants being a bit of up and coming, a bit. Whatnot.
Yes. Oh my goodness, they're just all
Yes.
all money.
We feel like there's been a bit of there's been a bit of bad blood. Ivan, Laszlo, and the other forgettable one that was on.
Oh, do you mean Andre, who hangs around with Laszlo and Ivan?
You see, they all hang out, don't they?
Yes, they're all friends. I know this. Yes.
Oh, you're great. Well, then, I won't mind telling you that we found them sort of a bit of naughtiness, stealing bits and pieces. Yes.
They were stealing.
Well, I think there's a mixture of that and also.
That's not our problem. That's human problem. We'll let police and Dragon Knights deal with that.
For sure, but also on top of that, the stuff with the school, with the things breaking and whatnot. I think. By miscommunication.
That was them too, right? That's Ivan and Andre and
no.
yes.
I think the school with the renovations, they've been cutting down woods and whatnot, and I think we've overextended ourselves, and so as a result, the the creature is I think just a bit on the back foot, so therefore has acted out aggressively.
There really
real
was a monster.
creature.
There was a monster. There was a monster.
Oh my
Should have led
god!
with
Oh,
that.
that is
Vodjanic.
so exciting!
It's
Vodjanic?
wonderful.
I've
Yes,
heard of
we
these.
found out so many things about them. We met them. We communicated with them. We had a lovely time.
Amazing. Okay, well I tell you what, we all go to ice cream shop or cream of ice shop. We all have cream of ice, and then you tell me all about it.
Yes.
And she guides you out the room, and we will transition to our sort of epilogue. Chanteuse Boomer, what do you think happens next?
We are not from here. We got called in to do a presentation at a school, but we
is
discovered a
not
greater
what's-
purpose.
Not what's next for Chanteuse and Boomer. What do you think happens next
Immediately,
in Yeovod?
imminently, right now.
I don't want to know where you two go.
I
I
don't
want to know
think
what you
we
think
have.
happens.
I don't think, by the way, there is any evidence to charge those merchants with anything.
No.
Like,
I don't think it's. I think the reason I would bring it up is because I think that is what's aggravated the creature, and I think these acts of that's why we're trying to understand what's happening. Is that these things have happened? So like the school renovation and the merchants like maybe like taking the gift offerings and stuff like that, and so that's why the creature may protect the scarf instead of the.
I think the Mappa Mundi Institute is going to have to do a lot of like sort of PR on behalf of Avoidianic.
Right, exactly.
Oh, this beautiful mystical beast that has been, hurt
100%.
by certain irresponsible individuals.
Yes. How can we all help make sure this creature is safe and stuff? Yes, and feels welcome. Yeah, absolutely.
Lovely. And that is what happens. And eventually, some people return from the expedition to the north.
Do they?
Some.
Phew.
Not all of the Mappa Mundi Institute chroniclers return.
But they're fine, right?
You
They
wouldn't-
just didn't.
You
They just didn't come home.
Were
They're
you there?
fine. Are they fine? I asked the people who come back. Are they fine?
No. And what do you think Chanteuse and Boomer do?
Not go north.
North, yeah.
South. I've always liked the south.
That's where birds go. In the
Yes!
in the winter.
You've heard of a
Exactly.
fantastic city, whose pronunciation I have in a document. Please hold, caller. Which is Towanich, and that is slightly further south and more towards the Hava Mountains. And you think, you know what? I've heard of some interesting creatures that could be down there. And Chanteuse and Boomer begin their trek southwards and on throughout the continents to different Mappa Mundi institutes. Is there
The
anything you
dampest
would like?
ones. We're going to go to all the dampest places we can
Yes.
find in case there are any more Vodjanic there.
Yes, absolutely.
On the hunt for Vodjanic. That's beautiful.
Yes, connect them.
You find many other creatures along your way. You tell the world about the beautiful beast you saw, created of thousands of other animals. You name it, the Taivini. And is that how you say it? Please hold. I have a pronunciation guide. I've guessed. That's how it's.
So beautiful. What's it called?
It's
Don't
and you
ask.
remember it's called Tivini. Tivini.
Tiffany.
now.
Not Taivini.
I remember that's what we named it.
We did
And
it.
that's what you two
Yes,
name it.
We did.
And you tell Danica. You tell the little girl from the Cream of Ice shop.
Yes.
Aww.
She goes,
She was great.
I told you. I don't remember what her voice was, but she's very excited about it and tells her dad. And are there any final thoughts from Chanteuse and Boomer?
I think it will be like a couple of days after we sort of been well, maybe we're camping out as we're going, and I sort of turn to Chanteuse and I'm like, you did really well, Poppet. I would probably be stuck in that river if you hadn't done anything. I would just been maybe still eating crumpets at this point, but you did really well.
Eating crumpet sounds alright.
Yes, but we wouldn't have found out about the creature and stuff without your wonderful connection with the water. So good job, and I sort of pat you on the knee.
Well, you're a total smarty. And well, maybe you, despite your lack of oneness with nature, we really need to try meditation again, because last time the shouting. We'll try it again, right?
So,
We'll
yes,
give
I
it
am
one more
not-
go.
Okay.
Calm. But I can see your buzzing, busy brain is busy thinking up lots of wonderful ideas. So
Well,
I don't want it to
as
stop.
long as I can share them with my best pal, that's all I ask for. No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I splash with water. I splash you with water.
All right. No.
And we cut away as you two splash each other, or Boomer splashes Chanteurs with water. And that is our game of Mappa Mundi Off Balance. Thank you very much, you two. That was
We fell in
lovely.
so many rivers because
Oh,
we were
so
so
many
off
rivers.
balance.
Yay!
Yay!
I kind of forgot, but now it all makes sense why we kept falling over.
Ah,
We were off balance.
so many bad rolls to be on.
Phenomenal.
bridges.
Those characters are beautiful.
Aren't they cuties?
They are very cute.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
them.
Jeez.
I know chat love them too, but I think they're magical. I'm going to do a very, very fast extra lore drop.
Yes.
Just
Whoa.
because I was intrigued by the Vodyanik in the book, which is why I centered the story around the Vodyanik. But there is, in Slavic mythology, there is a creature called the Vodyanoi, which is he from the water, or the water sort of spirit. And in sort of Czech and Slovak fairy tales, he's called a Vodnik, or in German, he's the Wasserman, so waterman. And then in Ukrainian fairy tales, he is called the Vodyanik. And he is sort of normally described as sort of maybe a naked man with like a pot belly, with like a hat. And some say he has the green beard, the long beard, but the idea sort of being that he is this sort of frog-like creature, and who, when angered, breaks dams, washes down water mills, and drowns people and animals. And so people make sacrifices to appease the waterman, and that is where it comes from. And I thought it was just a really nice, cool creature. Because
cool.
not necessarily a good creature, like can get very angry.
I can imagine.
Anger management issues there.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of hit it on the head while you were talking, but I had a couple of different ways in my head that I was sort of going to let you two decide what was going on, whether you thought it was all the Vodyanik or whether you thought other people were involved, or. But in my head, if you were to ask me, the Vodyanik attacked the school because they were encroaching on his area. And the merchants noticed they were getting more work, and knew about this creature. They knew some of the history, so they stole the honey from the watermill, which is what led to the Vodyanik being. So the Vodyanik hurt the water wheel, because the water wheel is already something that is encroaching into what the Vodyanik sees as his area as the wheel, and so when the offering isn't there, it attacks. However, it was the merchants who took all the oars, and the Vodyanik had nothing to do with it. It does not go that far upriver.
Again, Boomer did kind of say,
Yeah.
how did you know?
I didn't.
worked out.
I just I think sometimes I would make a really good was it like a not Houdini, no, what's he called,
Detective.
Darren Brown.
no, but the no, not Darren Brown. The
Psychic.
Sherlock Holmes.
No, the Agatha Christie.
Private investigator.
The Agatha Christie small man with a moustache.
Poirot.
Poirot, there you go. I think I'd make a good Poirot.
Phenomenal.
But just like a bumbling around and then be like, I've gathered you all here because it was you, and it's just something completely fucking random. That's what it is. So,
Boomer, if anyone's noticed, Fiona's gifts for this are entirely Nigel Thornbury from the Wild Thornberrys.
Yeah.
A certain amount of inspiration there. But someone in chat also said Harold Ziegler from the Moulin Rouge.
I saw
And I was
that,
like,
and it tracks.
it really does track.
Suddenly
yes.
I'm like, yes, for sure.
Person with orange hair.
Love
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah, so I liked that a lot.
Very good, very good.
Wonderful stuff.
If you want to find out more about how Fiona created Boomer, you can head to our Patreon, where you can see our
Yes.
session 0. And talking of our Patreon,
Yes.
segue.
It's
You
the
got
part of the
segued.
show. It's part of the show where we pick 2 of our patrons and we place them into the world. In this case, the world of Mappa Mundi.
Yes.
Where will they end up? No one knows.
No
will
one
they like it? We
Smashing.
don't know.
We better.
Oh, it's a risk. You take a risk being our patron. You could end up. Your alternate self could end up in some sticky situations across the multiverse.
Yes.
But who have we got today?
We've got a new member, I believe.
We
Debbie
do.
Bridges.
And we weren't
Yes.
going to do this, but we should, because it's just exciting that we get new
Yeah, I was
members.
going to say, let's get Debbie on. Yeah. So, Debbie Bridges is the first one.
Debbie Bridges. I mean, Bridges is in the name, so maybe Debbie is one of the like good merchants who helped build bridges, and is
yes.
all in charge of the bridges, and takes some inspiration from the beavers as how they make their bridges. And
I mean, I don't think that's. I think just knocking trees over and being like, "I made a bridge." Like, it's not
That's how I make a
self-inflicted
bridge. How do you make a bridge,
You need a
Shamini?
railing. You need a flat, even surface. You need it to be, wheelchair accessible. I think Debbie is revolutionising, building upon the beaver's work. Fine, revolutionising
beaver bridges.
beaver bridges.
Beaver Bridges.
Maybe building metaphorical bridges too, among the community. Maybe healing some of the rifts between the new money and the old money.
I like that. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of. Oh, so also like almost like kind of a psychiatrist as well. Psychiatrist by day, bridge builder by night. And so
Okay,
it's
sure, yeah.
building bridges with people's relationships, but also
but also giving back to the community by
Okay,
sustainable
Sure.
infrastructure.
I was thinking mediator, but psychiatrist.
and a psychiatrist. Yeah,
Yeah,
does a lot
cool.
of like couples therapy.
It's a lot of jobs. Like Debbie has too many jobs.
Jack of all trades. Yeah, Debbie of all trades.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
All trades.
Also a teacher for the school.
Oh no, no!
And makes some
Debbie,
honey
quit,
and
stop.
some cream of
you
ice.
need to quit some of these jobs. There's too many jobs.
And
Debbie,
creates that
please.
honey liqueur that Chanteur's found.
Yes.
That's Debbie too.
Deb-
Wow, Debbie, calm
her
down.
own little-
Like,
Yeah, just
Whoa.
take a holiday. Have a holiday.
Take a holiday.
Yeah.
Yes. Too many
Come
side
on,
projects.
Some you time.
Does somebody want to roll for me a D12?
I would
and
love
just-
to.
And if we get
I haven't
12,
had to
just
got to
rechange
roll
it.
recently.
Yeah,
no,
Rollings for Emily.
I've only got
Yes.
2d6s. That doesn't work, does it?
It-
No.
I mean, we can add them together.
Well,
but
let's
I
do
think
that.
it's
It's kind of
you've got
cheating. I'm sorry
12.
for people.
It's kinda
Then no
cheating.
one
I got a
can
12.
get
I got a 12. I got a 12.
Whoa! I mean, okay. We are there. Sorry, I'm just looking. Trying to count. I think. did we
Counting is
do
the hardest bit.
Keegan? Did we do Keegan? I think. Oh, it was Keegan the
We
patron.
can do Keegan.
Yeah,
We'll
let's
do Keegan again. It's fine. We've rolled. it's
Dice
fine.
have spoken.
Keegan.
Oh, Keegan. Keegan. We've already had someone be the beaver, haven't we?
I can't remember what we did last
We can't
time.
have another beaver. Maybe Keegan is one of the butterflies in
Oh my goodness,
the
yes.
Tavini.
That's cute.
And is like the butterfly who controls the head. So like is the most important butterfly. Like everyone looks to this butterfly. Like sometimes does like the very center of the forehead, like that bit of the head when the Tavini. Let's look at the art for the Tavini again because I think it is
I
absolutely
would say that
incredible.
is such a beautiful. That is not when you were describing it last time. I was like, every time you describe, maybe it's just me. I always think, it's a horror thing. And then when you saw it, I was like, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Why did I think it was horror?
This artwork is so gorgeous. Like I love it. I wonder if I've got the background on here. Oh, I do. Okay, I'm just gonna do something. I hope this works. I'm just gonna take
it's so
off.
detailed as well.
I'm just gonna take off this. Like you can see it. No, I'm not gonna take off something else. Okay. Carry on talking amongst yourselves while I work out.
Yes, no. I was like the birds in flight looks so good, and like, yeah, the roots of it, so cool.
Look at that. You can put it on our regular background, and like I just think it looks incredible. And I think because basically they sent me the PNGs, and I've just added to this background of the like parchment. But I just think with the stars, it looks amazing as well, and it could be like this celestial being, right?
That's so good.
Oh, I just saw it.
I realised there's a delay, but yeah.
No, but that it looks so. It's that sort of thing where you put on like some lo-fi music and have it on in the background, and then you just go, the space bear is here, hooray!
Yes, exactly. Anyway, there you go. Now the parchment back. But anyway, I've really enjoyed this game. Like I really like the vibe. I think it's a real challenge to run, in terms and to play. Like in terms of not turning to violence and trying to work out a story that doesn't involve go and stop this thing that's, you know, by hurting it or killing it. Like the central theme is find out about this creature and find out why it's what it's doing. And it's a really different like way of thinking about a story, and I'm really pleased that it's made me think about a story in that way. I don't know how you two felt about it, but it's definitely a different TTRPG, and I really enjoyed it personally.
I feel like, because like you said, it's all, I'm like, oh well, I don't know what the answer, what you know, I will try this, and then you're like, oh well, you're afraid of Fred. I'm like, oh well, I don't want to do that again. Oh, so
no, but it was so fun experimenting.
But that's it. I think that's the thing. It makes you go, you don't know what you're going to do, and that's okay, because you're not doing it with ill intent. You're trying to find out more. You're like, oh, I tried this, and then they go, and so it's that what's the word? It's like speaking a different language or cultural differences. You're trying to like go and not offend and stuff like that. So it's an interesting way to go forward. And yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. And yeah, absolute props to you, Emily, of having to be like, well, they've done this. How would this creature react? That's like, a fail. It's not like immediate anger or hurting. It's just like, what the heck, you know? So yeah, a really, really interesting game.
Yeah, I'd like to play it in more depth with the threads and things, and you know, I'd be intrigued by it.
I like being able to use the shaping to like throw a challenge at the Fate Weaver and be like, well, incorporate this.
Your turn, yeah.
Like, this is plot relevant now, yep.
That's some of my favourite bits, to be fair. That's something I enjoy personally. Like, I loved it when you were like, there's a hanging cream of ice shop over the river. I was like, great, cool, yeah, of course there is, yeah. They're my favourite bits.
Very Wind in the Willows type thing. Yeah. Rogue Octopus says, thanks for such a wonderful playthrough. It's inspired us to go for the physical copy of the game.
Yay! Did you hear that, 3 Sales? Amazing. We're not sponsored or anything, but they've been so helpful. George has sent us, I mean, all the artwork you've seen, George has just sent me because I was like, please may I have a picture of this thing? Because I think it's very pretty and I would like to show it. And some of the artwork wasn't done. Like the Tavini, a little spoiler for the Patreon content, the only reason I picked the Tavini out as something that we should talk about was because in our session 0, Boomer was talking about how they loved the little things and they loved the insects things like that. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, okay. And then I was looking at the creatures in like Nitsa, and I saw this and I was like, well, that's the closest thing to an insect of any form. And I didn't, and I read it and I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. But I had no idea how beautiful the artwork was going to be. Yeah. And so when I saw it, I was like, oh no, this is incredible. Like, this has to be like a bigger thing. Because I think originally I was going to have the Tavini as just one of your little montage bits at the beginning. But anyway, we're talking about the game a lot and our thoughts on the game. And I wonder if we should probably end the stream. And maybe we should go have this little conversation for a few minutes for our Patreon, because that's the kind of thing we normally leave for our Patreons.
A bit more patron stuff. Yes, thank you so much to our patrons. Our patrons, I mean, like, you know, we love all of you, but it's very, very special if you can support us in that way. Just
we really appreciate it.
Very
we really
kind of you.
And just to add at this point, we've streamed on YouTube now for a few sessions. We've given it a go. We're going to go away and talk about it, so we're not saying anything. But one thing I do want to just say is, if you do subscribe to us on Twitch, please don't feel the need to do that. We might go back to Twitch, and if you want to, it's absolutely fine. But we're not sure if we're going to at this point. But Patreon is a much better thing for you to do, just because it means that you get more content extra, and we can give you more things. So we would prefer, if you want to give us money, you do not have to give us money. But if that is something you wish to do, Patreon would be where we would personally suggest you go to. So if you are on Twitch, unless you have a Twitch Prime and you're stealing Jeff Bezos' money for us, that's fine. Steal his money, but don't
use your own money.
Yeah,
use your own money with us on Patreon. So.
Do, however, feel obliged to subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yes, that's true.
Don't forget to like this video if you're listening on a podcast in the future. Give us stars. I don't know how podcasts work.
Stars and comments, please.
Thumbs, whatever that is. And also, come hang out with us on social media. We're on Instagram and Blue Sky. We hang out there, and we would love your support there also. Finally, we do have a Discord. We've been chit-chattering away on our Discord.
We should put the link to that in lots of places, and I don't think we do.
We
currently.
should. We'll put the link to that in our link tree, which will be linked from our Blue Sky. You'll find it eventually.
Well, you know what? If you
Sorry
if you
for
get
the lack of imminent link to that.
No, if you get in, well done. I think is the answer.
Well,
If you can
it's
find
exclusive
our
because we don't
Discord,
share.
Well done. Congratulations. Thank you all very, very much for being such a wonderful audience and coming with us on this wobbly and damp adventure of exploration and ecology. It's been a lovely, lovely time, and we shall see you all next week.
We're playing Blood on the Clock Tower live next week.
Woo! Yes.
Cool.
Come join us for Murdering Our Friends.
Yay!
Hooray!
See you then. Bye.